We are at 100 episodes. Thanks to you all on Comic Book. Hold on. Kenny! Woo, that was a scramble. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight on our 100th episode. I can't go any further without bringing my good friend and partner in crime, Christopher, on the show. What's happening, hot stuff?
100, man.
100. I never thought we would get to 100. I thought, we'd have some fun during the pandemic doing the show, but you know what? It's been too much fun with you. It's been too much fun. I feel like it's like a weekly comic book meeting. We have all our good friends coming in just talking about stuff.
Well, it's funny because like I haven't even had a chance to process. I was literally scrambling just to get here on time, and now that we're sitting here live and we're saying like, here we are, 100th episode, it's hitting me, and I'm just like, I'm blown away.
It doesn't make sense. I was gonna have something ready for Dale here, but give me a hot second here. I did not. It was 100 episodes. 100 episodes. There we go, indeed. All right. Normally we get right into the news, everybody, but we're not going to have any news this week because it was pretty dry, actually, to begin with. But luckily, lucky for us, there's really not anything crazy to report. And that gives us an opportunity to have some past guests on the show. And as most of you know, we like to have an interview with our guests to see if they can make it and become a co-host. And a lot of the times, it's not the perfect interview. Am I right, Chris?
Yeah, that's saying it lightly.
Most of the time, we have to kick them off for incorrect answers. So what we're going to do today is we're going to turn the tables. We're going to allow them back on to interview us and maybe, encounter a little bit of payback. So all of these fine people are here today. We have 5 of our favorite guests on the show today. And we're going to start with Tony Trembetta. Y'all know him from EGS. By the way, all the links are down below to join their channel, subscribe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And let's just bring Tony in because, Tony, you have been a great friend of the show. Thank you for joining.
How you doing, guys?
You got this shit-eating grin on your face ready to go have at it with us. Yeah, exactly.
Been waiting a long time for this.
But before we get into it, we, again, just want to thank you for what you do for the community, first of all. How you're involved with our show with Fresh from the Comic Shop and the giveaways. You know what? Why don't we just take a sneak peek at the May book? Look at that beautiful slab, that King Spawn #1 variant 9.6. Is that a custom slab or what, Tony? Is that correct? You got 2 custom slabs, am I right?
That is, yes, indeed.
And it's just beautiful, the work you do, and just again, just the way you kind of you're with the community, and we greatly appreciate that. Before we get started into our little, what do we call it? The gauntlet, I guess. I don't know, or our interview. We should just say hello to you fine people as well. We got Serge Henderson, Peter Thornton, Gary Woods. Como Comic Books is in the house, too. You may see his beautiful face as well as Swaggle. Lowbrow Ephemera, Dale McNown, Tommy Fleming. Haven't seen you for a while. Nerds Being Geeks. Mark Leneker, T. Shoe, Azores. What's happening? Matt Labno, Mark Leneker. I said your name twice. Primetime Treasure, a.k.a. Dom. You may see him as well. Raising Elm Comics, a.k.a. Justin, a.k.a. Saul Marshall 007, I do believe. Spider Dude 71. Raw Dog Comics. Who else? Jordan Norrie. So Viper Guts, GTS. X11, Bravo. We haven't seen you in a while as well. So happy you guys are all here. Louis Logics as well. All right. We're going to get into it. I'm just trying to, obviously stretch here because I'm a little nervous myself. So, Tony, the floor is yours. The way this is going to happen, Tony and all of our guests are going to ask one question to each, Chris and I, and they get to determine if we're kicked off. If we're both kicked off, they're going to introduce the next guest. So here we go. I am actually feeling a little bit of butterflies right now. So I just want to be bold.
I did not study for this at all either.
No, I don't know we do not know what to expect either, people. But I think you'll all enjoy us getting kicked off our own show too. So, Tony, the floor is yours.
All right, guys. Well, I think I got a couple good questions for you. So test your knowledge for sure. I know I had a good time researching these.
Oh shit! Did research? Jesus.
Did research, man, because I didn't know the answers to these, but I think with your extensive knowledge in these areas, you guys might get it. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So
here we go.
Here we go. So the first question, we're gonna hit Jeff first. So Jeff, can you name the 3 players who are tied for first for most interceptions in Eagles history? There's 3, and they're tied for first in Eagles history. Interceptions. Can you name them?
I'm gonna say Eric Allen.
That is 1.
Asante Samuel.
Are you kicked off already?
I guess so. Yes. Just
Any
give
more,
me 3 before I get kicked off.
Any more guesses?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Quarterback. Bobby Taylor?
No.
I got the best one. Go ahead.
Oh, my God. And you call yourselves an Eagles fan?
He's out.
I better not speak too soon, though, man.
Wait, you have to tell us the answers.
All right. The other 2, Brian Dawkins.
I'm thinking just quarterbacks. My God.
And Bill Bradley.
I was thinking cornerbacks too.
All right, Chris, it's all on you,
all
man.
Right, man. You might ready? You might take it all over here.
All right,
I am nervous.
Mr. Tupac man himself.
Oh.
So we're going to test your Tupac knowledge here. All right. In 1990, Tupac started his entertainment career as a backup dancer for blank.
Digital Underground, Oakland, California, baby. What's up?
You got it, man. You got it. Congrats. You are correct. So
that's it. I just get one. Oh man, Jeff.
We each get 1 question. That's it.
I want more. Give me the Tupac stuff because I'll go. I could do this.
No, they all get 1 question each.
That's it. 1 question. Man.
And honestly, there's no excuse, Tony. I was just thinking strictly cornerbacks. I did not listen to your question carefully, and I'm very upset about that. Tony Trembetta, thank you so much for joining and kicking me off my own show.
Thanks, guys.
I'm sure you'll be sticking around because we have Fresh from the Comic Shop coming up. And this month, once again, y'all better be following Tony Trembetta because we're going to be giving away this beautiful, beautiful slab. Follow Tony on EGS, Instagram, and I keep burping, guys. I had chilling, my fault. And subscribe to his YouTube channel. The link is below. Tony, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. We
are going to bring in our next guest here. Joe. And he's a Philly guy, a.k.a. 360.
What's up?
That was tough. That was tough. Am I right?
You forgot Dawkins, but again, I understand you were focusing on cornerbacks.
There's no excuse.
We'll let it slide. Your first guess was right. If you had been able to, if you had to guess one of the top 3, you would have gotten it. So we'll forgive you.
Eric Allen is definitely. It's almost a deep cut because people forget about him. He's from the 80s. So, anyways,
yeah, I wasn't alive.
There you go. So, give me props for that at least. Listen, Joe. 360, your channel's blowing up, man, and we're very appreciative for you being here. You have those live sales, I do believe, on YouTube. Y'all should be following Joe. It's down below, 360 Comics. Please do. He was a wonderful guest, and he got kicked off. He got kicked off during the interview process. So
a lot.
So this could be brutal again. So let's just have it, man. I guess payback's a bitch.
All right, so Tony started with you, Jeff. So I'm gonna swing over to Chris. And Chris, when I was on the show, we spoke a bit about skateboarding and how that was something that I was into. And you were like, if I remember correctly, you were kind of skateboarding adjacent. Like you had friends that skateboarded and hung out with people, but you weren't like super into it, right?
Yeah. Shoot, I might have my son come take my place right now for this one because he's hardcore at the moment.
Well, I assume you played some skateboarding video games.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going with Tony Hawk Pro Skater #1, the classic skateboarding game from 1999, available on Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, and PlayStation 1. What character is your choice? You get to pick one character to play in that game. Who are you picking?
Wow. So I never had a Dreamcast. I never had a PlayStation. I never had a Nintendo until I was older, and I saved up for a Nintendo 64, and then I sold it for a 20 bag of herb. Anyways, so I never in my life played Tony Hawk 1, but my kids did have a GameCube.
Okay.
And we played Tony Hawk Plus, I think it was 3 that came out on that one. And I do believe I'm a big Birdhouse head, obviously Tony Hawk, Birdhouse, and I would play Willie Santos.
Oh man. I was ready to boot you for like most of the possible choices, but that's a good one.
So he's
All
saying,
right. I'm gonna say he's safe. I'm too happy. I wanted revenge here, but that answer was just too good. So
this is not going to be. I'm going to get the. Honest, I'm not making this a competition, Chris.
I got some Birdhouse stickers right over here off camera. You can't even see them.
Nice.
I'm not going to make this a competition, Chris, but I'm going to be mad if I get kicked off more than you. All right, let's do this, Joe.
You might. Okay, Jefferson. You ready for this?
Yes.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
People think cheesesteaks. I'm vegan. I don't eat cheesesteaks, but I love soft pretzels. What is your favorite thing to dip soft pretzels in or put on soft pretzels?
I will have no shame in answering this. I'm going mustard all the way.
You're done. Get out of here. Get out of here. One.
Woo, 2 for 2.
Mustard's weird. I don't like it personally. The correct answer when talking about Philly soft pretzels is they are better plain than anything else because they are so good. You don't want to contaminate it with mustard or cinnamon or icing or whatever possible things you put on.
You just get that warm gooiness, right?
If you have a good Philly soft pretzel, it needs absolutely nothing. Jeff, disappointing, man.
Oh, Jeff.
I have no shame in that. I fucking drown it in mustard, and I will go to my grave saying the same thing, even though you kicked me off my own show. So I am 2 for 2, Joe. You did a fantastic job.
Not good.
I got to come out in your area. We have to have words because that's mustard.
No.
Anyways, all right. Joe, thank you again for joining us. Please, everybody, follow 360. Please, he puts out great content. He's a great person, and he's got some great sales as well. You do not. Follow him at 360. Shit, I forgot. I'm just. Follow Tony at EGS Comics on the Instagram and Joe at 360 Comics on Instagram as well. All right, Joe. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, guys. Congrats on 100.
Thank you very, very much. All right. Not doing well, Chris.
How you feeling?
Not good. Not good at all. But before we bring in our next guest, I feel like he's going to be too nice. But he may throw us a curveball and just totally kick us in the nuts. Before we do that, Chris, what slab are we giving away today during the show?
Guys, we are, and we're not, this isn't, our EGS sponsored Fresh from the Comic Shop. We are doing this, we recently hit 1,000 subscribers and we were giving away all kind of goodies. And we are basically kind of ending our 1K celebration by celebrating our 100th episode, going out with the bang. We will be giving away a CGC 9.8 slab, and it is Star Wars High Republic #1, a beautiful 9.8 first appearance of all of the new High Republic characters there. I'm not going to waste your time trying to say them all and pronounce them all. Star Wars names. They're crazy. Anyways, it's a goodie, guys, so stick around.
To the end of the show, that's when we'll be giving it away with the little trivia question. It'll be fun, we promise.
And Jeff, it's gonna be a 2-part. And Jeff doesn't know about this, guys.
I don't know what the question is.
So I'm hitting Jeff with this right now. It's going to be a 2-part question. All right? Because there's 2 of us here. So there's going to be a first question. And those who answer that question correctly are going to be the only ones that can answer, that will be able to answer the second question. And if they get the first one to get that one right will win the book.
All right. You heard it. That's how it's going to work. All right. Let's bring in our next guest. His name is Dominic, but you may know him as Prime Time Treasures. What's happening? Treasure Hunter, I'm sorry. Dom, thank you so much for joining us from Northern New York, I do believe.
All right, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money. See, so your world. I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I drink up all the Hennessy you got on your shelf. So just let me introduce myself. My name is Prime Time. I'm time. I'll stop there, but I had to do that.
That was amazing. We do not have the rights to Digital Underground.
Chris and I are linked with Digital Underground. Now, I didn't plan that before the show, but when Chris came on my show, I started talking to him about Digital Underground. We started laughing about Humpty Hump. And then that question came up, and I was just like, I got to do it for the 100th episode. I was just going to do the beginning verse, but I was like, I'm just going to go for it for 100. And I'm impressed I got through it, Chris. So that's for awesome, you, man.
That's awesome.
That was amazing. You felt it, and we appreciate it. Only here on the 100th episode.
All we needed to add was the blow-up dolls.
Notice I stopped. I could have gone one more line, but I would have gotten in trouble if I went one more line.
Nobody here. Nobody would have been pissed off here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right. So you know the rules here, man. You're trying to kick us off our own show.
All right. Now, I tell you what, I guess my question isn't it's not a trivia question. It's a personal preference question, but I have what I feel should be the right answer. So I will, since you're requesting a little edge tonight, and by the way, I do have my gigantic Tasmanian Devil Cup, which does say I'm a little rough around the edges. So I'm going to bring a little edge tonight, and I will kick one of you off if you don't answer it the way I think you should answer it. So, but granted, it's the way I think it should be answered. So I'm going to start. Well, who should I start with, Chris or Jeff? I think I'll start with Chris.
It's your It's
right,
on
Chris,
you.
All right. So I do have the super. I actually wore this specifically for this question, and it's kind of linked to the last time you had me on asking one of these questions. Something came up spontaneously in conversation, and I said, you know what? I got to ask this. So I always love if you could pick one to survive questions, okay? And you're going to have 3. So the publishers got together and, inflation is out of control and they just can't publish all these books anymore. So they got to knock out 2 of these 3 characters. So only one could survive, okay? Now, they're all super characters. Superman, he's had a long run already. It's, we might just get rid of him at this point. We've changed him around a lot. Superman's on the list he's on the chopping block. Number 1. Number 2, because they want to keep everything fair. Supergirl. Okay. So Supergirl, Superman. But then the third option, okay, is Super Grover. So you could only keep one of these characters alive in the pages for books to come. Is it going to be Superman who you're going to keep? Are you going to keep Supergirl or Super Grover?
That's a tough one.
And remember, Chris, that means that, there's the monster at the end of this book. That'll be on the chopping block.
I think by the fact that he left to go get something,
I don't know. I think he might have gotten up and get that.
You know damn well what the answer is.
Yeah. How dare you think that you are going to get rid of me and my books? What do you think? Journal Comics. How do you let these people on your show? I don't get it. Shame on you.
I think I know the answer.
Yeah. Say it, Grover. What's Chris's answer?
Super Grover!
All right, that's the correct answer. All right.
Wow, Chris is 3 for 3. 3 for 3.
Chris. Good job, man. That's awesome. Jesus. I love it. Chris, I don't know if you noticed, but that's another thing that you and I have in common is we do I don't know if you've ever seen, I have a puppet called PT. It's a joke, like the initials PT for PD and Primetime. I actually have him here. That's another spontaneous thing. I could bring him out here. Maybe he can meet Super Grover. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Let's find him. He's in here. PD. Let's find you here somewhere. Oh, here he is.
Oh boy.
All right, hang on.
Oh boy. This is
Petey's
you got
about
more than you
to come out
paid
here.
for.
Hold
Audience,
on.
definitely.
He doesn't really talk though. That's the thing, but he does kind of have pretty funny reactions. So, Petey, you come out here already? I mean, geez, it's taking a long time to get you. Come on, come up. Don't be shy. Come on, it's the 100th episode. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, he's here for the 100th episode. Hey, look, it's Super Grover. Oh, wow. That's his fan. He's a big fan of Super Grover. Look at, oh my gosh. There's two. Oh,
Grover, Grover, what is this hairy thing that we see on screen?
yes, I see. I see.
That's Petey. He's my new best friend.
I'm gonna let myself out, guys. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, a bunch of grown men playing with puppets.
That's right. Who doesn't like puppets, man? That's awesome.
Oh my God, what have we become?
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
You got a
That's
new
pretty
subscriber though, Justin. Raising Elm Comics. Definitely subscribe to you.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Chris.
I love it.
I probably just lost 25 subscribers. Oh my God.
Here's the deal. No matter what, Chris, you will have a winning record when it comes to these. We have so this is it for me right here to see if I can make a comeback.
Yes, yes. All right. So now I'm going to be fair. I'm going to also give you an elimination question. Okay. So a survive, however you want to think of it, but only one of these three things can survive. They're going through all the things that you know are famous in Philly, and you know they're tightening ship over there, and they're eliminating a few things here. So only one of them could survive. Okay. You've got the Philly cheesesteak from Geno's. That's number one. Okay. Number one on the list. They might put that on the chopping block. Okay. Now, are you going to tell me you don't like the Philly cheesesteak from Geno's?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to show you any kind of reaction.
All right. Because I don't know. I thought I might have had a reaction there.
I do have a reaction. I know Joe knows my reaction to that. Go ahead.
All right. Now, there's the Philly Fanatic. The Philly Fanatic. Okay. If you're not familiar, look up the Philly Fanatic, the mascot for the Phillies. Or the Philadelphia Comic-Con, the Philly Comic-Con. Okay. Got a lot of cool, you know, convention variants that come out of that. So only one of those could survive. Which one will it be?
I have the answer.
All right.
Now, you said a cheesesteak from Geno's, right?
That's right.
I do love cheesesteaks,
All right.
but not from Geno's.
Oh.
Goodbye. Peace out. Now, you said the Philly Comic-Con.
Well, and also the Philly Fanatic.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
This is you already know where I'm going with this.
All right.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I had to root for a Comic-Con, it'd be Philly. But I'm not into Comic-Cons.
Ooh.
I know. Weird, huh? I don't like lines. I don't like crowded areas. I don't like it. I've been to San Diego Comic-Con before. I don't need to ever go again. I don't need to go to the Philly Comic-Con, but I would say it was the best one because it was in Philly. That's got to go. My final answer is a Philly Fanatic. He is an institution in Philadelphia.
All right. For me, I would say keep the Philly Comic-Con, so I got to kick you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, poor Jeff. Oh, he's just getting beat up. Jeff, this is karma.
You know what I think happened there? You know what I think happened? I really think that the real answer for him was the Philly Comic-Con, but when he saw you and I interacting with the puppets and stuff, he thought that I was going to go Philly Fanatic on that one.
I'm cracking up, by the way.
That's what it was. Yes, that's exactly right. Petey agrees with me. That's what he thinks. So sorry, it didn't work out, Jeff.
Listen, I appreciate it. Honestly, I will definitely. I'm guaranteed a losing record. Everybody, please follow Dom on Instagram at prime_time_treasure. Is it treasure or treasures?
Treasure one, yeah, no S.
Got it right. And then link down below to his YouTube. Y'all better be he finds some gems. Not even just, I mean, it's not all about comics with Dom, and he will show you the way. Am I right?
Yeah, actually, a little update. If you saw that, I think Chris saw it, where I got the 50,000 comics in the U-Haul. At the end of that video, I bought a Shogun Dragon DRAGUN for $200. I literally just sold it yesterday for $800. So yeah, so I'm flipping all sorts of stuff. I'm also over on Whatnot too. So I did a comic show last night, a horror comic show. So Primetime Treasure over there, no S.
Follow Dom, everybody. Dom, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, and congratulations, guys, on 100. I'm super proud, and I can't wait to see what you guys keep doing with the show. And it's awesome. Honor that you would have me on tonight. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And it's an honor to be kicked off by all you fine people, including you, Dom. All right.
See you later.
Next up,
Man.
we got another good friend of the show. He's been on twice. I don't think anybody else on the panel here has been on twice. This is Drew, aka como.comic.books. What's happening,
up?
sir?
Happy to be here repping the two timers.
You are, yes, that's correct. You know, all these guys are owed their varsity jackets that will never produce. Nobody's asked us as of yet for that. Now that I brought it up, Drew may be a little bit nasty with these questions. So, Drew,
We don't want to make it awkward.
listen, this segment's gone on for a while. We didn't think it was going to go on this long, but let's just get to it, man. Like,
All right.
I saw you smirking when we were talking earlier in the pre-show, and I just feel like you may be the most dastardly out of all these people.
Uh-oh.
I feel like you've got this is an underhand toss for you. Chris, I feel like I'm coming in a lot harder on. So maybe, I can knock him off, and at least, you won't get skunked. I can get the goose egg off there.
All right, who are you going to go with first?
I'm going to go with you first, because if my question for Chris is a two-part, if he can get the second part, I'm going to change the rules of the game. He gets to bring you back. So it's like a lifeline.
Fair,
So,
that's fair. Okay. Before we do, why don't we just give you a little shout? Como.comic.books is the Instagram. And it's just an easy click down below in the description just to subscribe to Como Comic Books.
I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Do this.
All right. First question to you, Jeff. You're a Pearl Jam fan. I also went with a music theme. So Pearl Jam, kind of came out of a band called Temple of the Dog. Why was Temple of the Dog founded?
Okay, I'm going to correct that because they came from a band called Mother Love Bone, but they worked with members of Soundgarden and did a side project called Temple the Dog, and I don't know why they formed that band at all.
Really?
I had no idea. I just thought that they just were, Seattle people were like, hey, let's do something cool on the side.
Andy Wood, the lead singer of Mother Love Bone, died. So Mother Love Bone no longer existed, which he was actually roommates with Chris Cornell, and Cornell went on tour and started writing stuff and got together with some of the guys from the Mother Love Bone and some other guys that eventually went on to be in Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. And that's where Temple of the Dog came from. So the answer I was looking for was the death of Andrew Wood. So I'm sorry.
That led to Pearl Jam, though. Okay. All right. This is your question. I
maybe I botched the question.
Information, and I'm not sure. This honestly, it's your choice. Kick me off or keep me on.
Hey, you got Mother Love Bone. Hell with it. I'll be generous. I botched it.
Ah! I'm not an over.
There you go.
Over.
All right, Chris, I'm going to do better.
Oh, man.
Chloe
Okay.
don't know better.
Not perfect.
You guys don't want it.
I really like tracks Dr. Dre produces. He produced 2 tracks on Tupac's All Eyes on Me.
Mm-hmm.
Can't See Me is my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
2 parts. The main part, the sample that comprises the main beat of that song came from what band? And bonus points if you can name the song.
On Can't See Me?
Yep.
Funkadelic?
Nailed it.
The song itself, man, I can't name the song itself off the top of my head right now.
Not just Knee Deep. So very good. I mean, I would have taken Parliament. I would have taken Funkadelic. I would have taken George Clinton. You had some room, but very good. Very good. You both get to stay.
Oh my God. Yo, Chris, I would hug you right now. Like we both, we did it. We did it. We did it.
Like,
I did not
congrats
think
on
that would
100
happen.
episodes, guys. That's awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us, Drew. Everybody again, follow como.comic.books on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Bring it up one more. Or as Chris likes to say, the IG.
The
And click on the link below. We're gonna have. I would suspect before the year's out, Drew he may make a third appearance. This doesn't count.
Yeah,
Third guest co-host appearance. So
you guys know where to find me.
we absolutely do in Missouri. All right, sir.
Thank you much.
Thank you so
Congrats
much
again.
All right, take care. And last but not least, we got Mickey, aka Swaggle House.
Woo! What's up, man?
He is on mute. He's so
I'm
excited.
muted. Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
Oh my
Happy-
gosh.
I'm getting really nervous because this guy,
Yeah.
he's got the power
What
to
power?
break my perfect record.
Oh, yes. Yeah. This is it.
But he'll do it with a smile is the thing. Like he'll be all nice about it.
He's pitching a no-hitter right now. You know, he's pitching a no-hitter. We're going into the ninth
Yeah,
inning.
the ninth inning. Yep.
You know, here
Yeah.
it comes. All right. Well, I got something here. Here's the thing, Chris. You're going to be able to blame it on your partner because this is going to be a team up.
Oh no! This guy.
A Marvel team up. Here. All right, here we go. So, Silver Surfer, one of my favorite superheroes. Eventually, he's going to have a movie, I would assume, at some point in the MCU. So I'm going to play Kevin Feige. All right. We're starting pre-production of the film here. I got a expert filmmaker in Jeff, and I got a expert musician in Chris here. And I want to hear your guys' creative pitches of how we're going to do this movie. Now I'm going to make it somewhat easy for you guys. We're going to give you some rails, some guardrails to answer your questions, right? So Chris, let me start with you, okay? We're doing a Silver Surfer movie. We need music. Music's a big driver for some of these movies, right? So I got 3 genres of potential music that we could do for this movie. All right. So first genre, kind of like a progressive rock, like think Pink Floyd, Muse, those types of bands. We're going to be in space. We're going to be living in that world. We can kind of explore that. Think of that as like being the theme of the trailer. Then we got like, Kendrick Lamar, Lil Baby. We got some hip hop, some trap. The kids, they love trap. We got to market to the kids. And then we got, 80s metal, right? We got Led Zeppelin, obviously Thor, Love and Thunder, Guardians of the Galaxy, very successful formula. Do we keep going with that? We're in space, 80s music. So 3 genres.
So technically now your first option was
I would say like a progressive rock, like an ethereal kind of, like Pink Floyd.
So more like Pink Floyd rather than
like
the Led
Muse.
Zeppelin. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yep,
Muse, if you've heard Muse before, things like that.
Yep. Okay.
What genre
Okay.
is the way to go here?
I'm gonna first thing I'm gonna do right away is eliminate the last option because it's been done. It's been done extremely well.
He's breaking the winning formula.
Yeah. It's been done in space. It's been done in space with Guardians. It's been done in space in kind of world building with Thor. Guardians was more of a mix of a lot of different from the 70s and 80s era. Yeah. So, I feel like if building the MCU and continuing to expand on it, you got to continue to expand on the emotion that drives it. And we can't just keep doing the same emotion. So I'm going to eliminate that last, the 80s option there. Y'all heard Kendrick's new album?
It's pretty fun.
Wow. This dude, Machiavelli Train, sparked the brain that'll change the world. He's carrying on what Tupac did before him, what Nipsey did before him, what Andre did with all of them. And he's just evolving this genre. And he has such potential. Like what he did with the Black Panther film. I want Kendrick coming back on some MCU stuff. I would love Kendrick to come back on the Wakanda Disney Plus show. But not for a Silver Surfer. And Kendrick's in the realm of his own. He obviously infuses a lot of different types of rap and hip hop sounds, including the trap sound or whatever drill, to more like organic, laid back hip hop. I'm going to keep that away from Silver Surfer as well because I feel like again we want something we're not going to put music behind Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is on such another level. We're not going to put something behind him that merely just tries to tend to an audience because of the trendiness of the music itself. So I got to go out of those 3 picks. I definitely think we go with some more ethereal rock, because for me, I look for Silver Surfer. I want to look at composers like Hans Zimmer, or who I do believe did Interstellar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with.
He could have, yeah, he might have. Yeah.
Interstellar, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
and this,
Nolan,
well, I might actually be getting ahead of myself with some of your other questions. So I'll calm down here, but I want to take like that musical emotion of Interstellar, where it was like extremely ethereal, and maybe we can add some like more of that, the classic rock vibe, some Pink Floyd vibe in there, and really mesh that together to create something very unique that speaks to the world building of space and to the eclectic nature of Rad.
All right. Okay. So we're doing that. All right. So Jeff, you guys are the creative team here, right? So we got the soundtrack covered. Now the soundtrack doesn't have to affect your answers, right? This is kind of like a Mad Libs situation here.
Okay.
So visuals here, whether you're directing this movie, you're writing it, you're producing it, whatever you're doing, right? I'm looking at other tentpole movies that it's like, oh, do we want to go this way or this way, right? So I got 3 kind of movie genres, right? So we can do kind of like 2001 Space Odyssey. Like, are we getting real artsy with it? Like something like that, a little existential artsy and that whole thing. We can go kind of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? We can get real zany with it. Let's get just real zany, make it real colorful, lots of wackiness out there, get Impossible Man in the movie, that type of thing. Or are we going for popcorn? Are we getting Bruce Willis and Armageddon? We're going to have, a giant space battle thing. Maybe I would lump like a Star Trek movie in here. We got Silver Surfer, we got the team up, we got the crew, we got the spaceships, and let's go. Where are we going with this one? Where are we going?
I like the vibe, because Marvel has not done this yet. But I do like the 2001 Space Odyssey. They are kind of the Interstellar kind of vibe, kind of just a really trippy kind of vibe, right? I think that's the way to go with that. It's more mature, it's less popcorny. It probably would they may get a dent in the box office, but at the same time, they can push the boundaries on what comic book films are. Or we can. The 3 of us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Okay. So, get somebody. I don't know who directed Interstellar, but
Christopher Nolan.
Oh shit. I mean, come on. There, that would be the way to go, in my opinion.
All right. Well,
look how pumped Chris is.
You didn't let me down, Jeff. I don't know what Swag's thinking, but if we get kicked off, we get kicked off together, because you just stole my heart with your answer.
I'm hugging you.
I'm gonna say this right now. Hey, look. You give me a Christopher Nolan movie that feels like Interstellar. You give me some epic space rock, with some ethereal sounds of Pink Floyd or Muse. I'm watching that movie all day. Let's go.
That's what's up.
Kevin Feige.
Great answer.
Pitch for you, buddy.
The truth is, artist subjective. So no matter what you pick, I probably would have said yes, because I need to see a Silver Surfer movie in my life. But congratulations, you guys passed the test.
I would like to say something here. Swag, I really loved how you approached this, because the one thing that kind of you could have threw a curveball in us at is like, because for me, I don't think that we're gonna see Silver Surfer for the first time in his own movie. You could do all those other things with Silver Surfer when he's like with others or doing other things. But what I think they might do is go back to an origin story as his own film, and all the pieces that we just talked about, Jeff, like to do that in that realm, in that arena, man, that'd be amazing.
That'd be outstanding. Yeah. Again, pushing the boundaries of what comic book films are, and Marvel's doing that. I don't want to get into too much. This is more about Swags than us, because we're in the interview process. But Marvel's doing those types of things. Moon Knight. Take a look at Moon Knight and how they discuss mental illness, and it just, I don't know. I just think I think we're ready for it. I think we're a mature enough audience, and we'd be able to handle something like that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, 100 episodes, guys. That's huge. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for being part of this as well. And I you know, you've been on the show more than anybody, not as official guest.
Not full episodes, though. I've had little cameos.
Yes,
little
you've had cameos, so that counts.
I've ruined the value of my first appearance with cameos and stuff.
But listen, there's more to come with Swagger House and Comic Book Canon. I feel it, unless you say no. But other than that, listen, thank you so much for being part of it. Everybody, if you're not following Swaggle House, I don't know why you're not doing it on the IG as well as the YouTubes, but click on the link, please, because you will be more than happy that you did. Breaking down every type of, anything comic book related, those cards, back, starting, you did those cards. That was a huge success.
Oh, yeah, Marvel cards. Yeah.
We talked way more than just those types of things. So please continue to put out that amazing content, and we appreciate you greatly.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on, guys.
That was a great question, and thank you for not kicking us both off.
Sure, man.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Peace, peace.
Woo! Chris, we did it.
Flawless, man. I can't believe I am.
Were you flawless
here?
No, you were. I was I had 2 to 3. Anyways,
Hey, you redeemed yourself. That last one there, man. Yeah, that was teamwork.
That was actually a collaborative process with Swaggle.
Yeah,
I
like that.
greatly appreciated that. But I appreciate
like
all these guys for coming in with these questions. They did the research. So again, we appreciate all you guys. But we still have a show to do. And before we get into the show, let's remind everybody that they can what they can win. Chris, what is it?
Slabs. We got this beautiful 9.8 Star Wars: The High Republic #1 first appearance of a bunch of wonderful characters. CGC 9.8, guys. Towards the end of the show, we're going to be giving this away. It's going to be a 2-part question. We're going to ask one question that's going to pertain to Jeff. We're going to ask a question pertaining to me. We're going to ask the first question first. Whoever gets it wrong gets eliminated. And those that got it right will move on to be able to answer the second question. In the
Oops. I just kicked you off.
To answer that second question first is going to be the winner of this book.
All right.
You just had to do it, right? You were mad because I was flawless. So
no, I was really happy with the collaborative effort we just had. Anyways, moving on. Here we go, everybody. Here we go. Because right now, Chris, we do this little thing each and every week where you take a look back at the past week's top 10 list, right? So what we like to call this is the top 10, the top 10 look back props or flops. That's right. It's time for top 10 look back. What we do is we take the top 10 hottest books from Cover Price. That's right. Cover Price. They release their list on a Monday. Our show is on a Sunday. So that gives us a lot of breathing room, a lot of time to see what they have done. And then Chris picks 3 books off of that list and gives them props in the lead up to. I'm stumbling over words right now.
I got a call. Whoa! Clyde has pressing issues. Chris got the first question wrong.
Wait, what happened?
That's what he's saying. No. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing, man.
All right. Well, we got to get back
information.
We have a segment we're doing here.
What's that?
We have a segment we're doing here. You're going way back to 45 minutes ago.
He just messaged it though, or sent it right there. Boom.
What did he say?
He's accusing me of getting questions wrong.
Oh, well, okay. That's, you know what? It's our show now. It's back in our hands. So here we go. Props or flops, the top 10 look back. We take a look back at Cover Price's top 10 hottest comics of the week. It's released on a Monday. Our show's on a Sunday. It gives it breathing room. Chris picks his top 3 most interesting books off that list, gives them props or flops. Let's get right into it. Chris, what do we got? I don't have the list, so I'm just going to have to go back here and kind of guess this. At number 10, we have, you know what? I do have the list. Hang on, everybody. Hang on. What a mess. Am I right, Chris? What are we doing here?
Jeff, it's just, It's just not your night.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding.
I'm still upset. At number 10, we have Spider-Verse. Number 6. At number 9, we have Thor. Number 2. At number 8, we have Batman Beyond the White Knight, issue number 1, second print, virgin foil, the 1 in 25. That's a good-looking book, I have to say. At number 7, this book right here, people. This book, Vengeance number 1, the first appearance of America Chavez. If you don't know why that comic book is hot, I don't know what to say. At number 6, we have Captain Carter. Number 1, the 1 in 25 Marvel Studios animation cover. I love that cover. And if you don't know why this is popping, then I don't know what to say either. At number 5, we have Thor, issue number 1, the Jane Foster Thor. And if you don't know why this is popping, I don't know what to say to you. Number 4, Exiles, issue number 3. Again, if you don't know why, Chris, finish the sentence. At number 3, we have Assassin and Son, issue number 1, the Elder Messiah regular cover. Gorgeous looking cover indeed. At number 2, Chris, we have New Avengers.
My favorite book of all time.
7. What's that?
My favorite book of all time.
I don't believe that in the least. And at number 1, we have the Mighty Thor, number 326. All right, we're going to get right into it, Chris. How about it? You excited? You want to talk some top 10 look back, props or flops?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What do you got for your first most interesting book? And is it props or is it flops?
Book number 3. Vengeance number 1. Yeah, there it is. There she is. America.
Look at that. Photoshop.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this book. Okay. There's a lot to take in here. It's going to be fun, though. First off, the way I do this, just to give you guys a reminder, as always, we take last week's top 10. We are a week out now. So last week's numbers are when it hit the top 10. So when it hit the top 10, it had 111% upward trend in sales. When it hit the top 10, that week's highest 9.8 sale was $1,250, 1,250. There was no 9.8 sold after that. But there is a couple auctions going on. Well, when I looked at these numbers today, I always do it today. So a few hours ago, there was 2 auctions running. Both were around or above that 750 mark. So who knows where they will end. Now, keep this in mind. Record high for this book in a 9.8 sold for basically $2,000, $19.99. But as I always say, don't get caught up in outliers, folks, because when that $2,000 book sold, if you look at the fair market value average around that same time, it was roughly about $1,500. So that $19.99 sale was, definitely way above just the standard average that was going on. And this was back a few months back when I believe we got the first trailer where we saw America Chavez in that trailer. Okay. Now, last week's average raw, when it hit the top 10, 258. This week's average raw, 275. That's a 7% increase. But of course, I always say, take the average raws with a grain of salt because you don't know how many are, lower grade, mid grade, high grades. It's a modern book. So you would think that the majority of them are decently high, but you could just have a couple of, 9.8 potential candidates in there that are selling raw that could definitely skew the average up a little bit. So to me, I look at this and say the book is still basically doing what it's been doing. It's staying healthy. All right. I want to give some context. I recently, there's been some negative talk about this book since the movie dropped. Now, obviously, people came out of this movie. Some people really loved the character in the movie. Some people didn't, and that's preference. It's perfectly fine. But I want to make something clear. This book hit that peak of that 1,500 fair market value, that 9.8, when we saw her in the trailer. It did dip a bit since then. But even the raw, even the high raws peaked around that same time, and they kind of cooled back down. But since the movie, okay, it's still trending the same way, and it made the top 10 again. So that means units are moving. I'm not worried about this book And because of that, I'm going to give this book props. I am not worried the fact that this book right now, it had a high of $1,250 last week when the prior high was $2,000. I'm not going to sit and look at that and go on my YouTube and make a YouTube video saying, you know, 42% crash or something like that, and sensationalize this subject for clicks and views and then distort the data. I'm not going to do that. The bottom line is that $2,000 sale was an outlier. Focus on the fair market value. The decrease in average fair market value for this book from when we saw her in the trailer, to me, and the raw books, not just the graded, to me it doesn't speak to this book. It speaks to the validity of the spec market right now as a whole. It speaks to the same trend that I've been bringing up week after week, Jeff. It speaks to the fact that it doesn't matter if it's America Chavez. It doesn't matter if it's America Chavez's mother's cousin's left foot. And I keep saying this thing. If that left foot has the first appearance in a comic book, when we see it in the trailer or we get a rumor, that book is going to spike. It's the spec market in general right now that to me is extremely volatile. Now, I'm not giving this book props to telling you to go pay even $12.50 for this book in a 9.8. I'm not telling you to pay more than that or less than that, whatever. I'm not telling you to pay $2.50 for an average raw. All I'm saying, so I don't know where this book is going to go in the next couple of weeks or the next couple of months in terms of an up and down value. I give it props because I believe in this character, and I think long term, this book is here to stay, and I think it's going to continue to grow. Now, personally, I love the character in the movie. I didn't think that this character, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I didn't think this character would be so prevalent in the film. So that's one thing that is a fact. She is definitely very present in the film and important to the film. I thought she'd just kind of be introduced and kind of more of a side character. I love the actress. I love her portrayal, and I can't wait to see more. And I think there's a lot of other people out there that feel this way. And it speaks to the fact that maybe the price of this book is still down a little bit. The units are up. And that means people saw the movie and they're going out and they're buying this book. Now, remember, even though units are up, maybe a lot of people are selling this off. So it's creating a larger supply. Maybe when we saw the first trailer or when the peaks were going on there and that average was going up to that 1,500 and we got that 1,999 peak, maybe people were holding. They're like, okay, we're going to wait until the release of the movie, or maybe, there could be a lot more in the market right now. Maybe people that are flippers and they're just flipping to get profit, maybe they're worried. Maybe they think, oh man, I better get rid of this now because I didn't like the movie, or I'm hearing people talk bad about the character. So now you have an influx of copies being sold on the market. So even though demand is going up, supply is going up as well. And that's why you see the value just kind of still hanging around that $1,000 to $1,200 mark in that 9.8. But that could change even in the near future if people come out of this movie and keep buying the units like they've been doing the last couple of weeks. But like I said, Jeff, love this character in the film. Can't wait to see more of her. And let's talk 5, even I was going to say 10 years, even 5 years from now, and let's look at this book. And I would stand confident and say that this book is going to be worth more than it is going for right now.
Yeah, I have things to say, but before I do, some of you may have asked why Dan wasn't on. He couldn't. He's actually closing deals on the golf course, and he's listened to us. So we just want to say, what's up, Dan? We appreciate you and love you. And we got Tom Tormey. That's comic history. Y'all need to be following him as well. He's doing amazing things too, and we appreciate you greatly. Just want to throw that out there. People who have been involved with this show so many times and in so many ways. All right. So as for that book, specifically, I feel like I'm too close to it, Chris. I know people that, we talk about this representation matters. I think this is a very important character in society, period. again, I think I'm a little too close to the subject material in a way. I have a lot of friends who see themselves in her. My daughter she's a quarter Latina, so she could possibly see a little bit of herself in there. She also, represents LGBTQT as well. So, I'm not saying this is a solid investment because of that. I'm saying she's an important character, and I just think her first appearance means something. So I'm going to give it props for that.
Right. I want to make a little note too, and I don't want to get too deep into the politics of this, folks. But Jeff, saying representation matters. I think just for everyone listening, and maybe we all have our different perspectives on politics, I will say that I think when we say representation matters, it's kind of a political buzzword, So I think some people might get turned off by that and think that, we're just we're picking up what did we do? What did we do this week to care about social issues? Representation matters. We picked up our flag, right? And so I think when you say it, though, I want people to know when you say that term and when we talk about it, let's get away from just the buzzword and get down to what it means. And what it means is that these characters, it's not even necessarily about race, right? But it is, and gender as well. But it's even about cultural representation. And we say that it's important. Let's not say matters. Let's say it's important. It's important because there are individuals out there that look at these characters and can relate to them on a very personal level. And I'm not here to say, Jeff, you can say this too. Like, we can dive into a character that's Black or that's female, or maybe if you're Jewish and they're Christian, or if you're Christian and they're Muslim, we can still relate to them, right? We can still find that human core and things that are similar to us, because even with all of our differences, we have so much that is similar, right? But it is very, very important that we world build on these different experiences. People experience different things in life because of the color of their skin. They experience different things in life because of their gender, or because of their sexuality, or because of just where they're from and their culture and their ethnicity, etc. And I think that this character has the opportunity to, like you said, Jeff, not only speak as a LGBTQ or as a young girl or young woman, and as a Latina woman, they can really continue to drive her character to have deep rooted personal struggles that speak to who she is and the uniqueness of who she is as a person. And those people that are reading the stories or seeing her on screen and that have those similar things, they could say, man, that really hits home. So I just wanted to really kind of round that out, because I know there's people that could pick apart with these words that we use sometimes, and I want to make it very clear what we at least mean. We can't speak for anyone else, but that's what we mean when we say that.
Yeah, gosh, I don't want to get into it anymore, but I do have more to say on that. But anyways, props on that book from both of us. So we're gonna move on to your second book from this list. What do you got, Chris?
All right, guys. My next book, number 2, is Exiles, number 3. Look at that. Look at that awesome cover, man. I love it. I love it.
It is
okay,
great.
Let's look at this book, guys. Exiles, number 3. First appearance of Peggy Carter as Captain America. Let's look at these numbers, and I'm going to talk about it. 95% upward trend in sales. Last week's high, 9.8, 500. That's when it hit the top 10. This week's 500. It didn't go anywhere. That's a good thing. Last week's average raw, 98. This week's average raw, 67. Ooh. 32% decrease in those raw. Now, I usually say take average raw with a grain of salt. This is a brand new book, basically. I don't think there's too many reader copies out there bringing the average raw of these values, raw of these down like that. That to me shows that, and I did. I looked at all the individual sales, guys. This book is already trending downward. Now, if you look at this book, even prior to the last few weeks, that average number was even lower. So that tells me one thing, and this one thing is very important to whether I give this props or flops. It tells me that people were specifically going after this book because of Peggy in Multiverse of Madness. And even if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to give away spoilers, but it was in the trailer. It was in that last trailer. We saw the Captain Britain shield, right? Now, Jeff, what other book made it on the top 10 list today that's relevant to what I'm saying?
What other book? Well, why don't
Yeah.
we bring that up?
Yep,
Number
there it
6.
is. Captain Carter. Excuse me, I said Captain Britain, but I meant Captain Carter with the British flag. So there you go. So you got the Captain Carter. It's the variant, but still it's up there, right? Because we saw the shield, Captain Carter shield. I hate to break it to you folks, but it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter if you're on Instagram and there's people that will do anything to say that this person is the same person. They're not. I don't care. They're not. This is Peggy Carter from a different universe as Captain America. Different shield, different uniform, different mantle. And remember, mantles matter. Who we saw in Multiverse of Madness was Peggy Carter from a different universe as Captain Carter. Different uniform, different shield, different mantle. Different backstory. We saw that in the What If. It's extremely concerning to me that people are simply going after this book because they're relating it to Captain Carter. Now, look, why I say they're different characters, they are related, right? I mean, they are related because they are still both different variants or variations of Peggy Carter. So inherently, it's kind of like saying, let's see, what's it, Jeff? I don't know. Give me I guess like, what's an example of somebody that has a variant that has a different first appearance? I should have thought about this before the show. You got any off the top of your head?
A variant?
Yeah, like or a character that takes a different. I mean, how about a character that takes a different mantle? Right. What about Ben Reilly? What about Ben Reilly as Scarlet Spider?
Yeah.
What about Ben Reilly as Chasm or whatever?
I mean, what about those Miles what ifs you got going on right now?
Oh yeah, there you go. Or Miles what if is Captain America? I mean, it's still Miles Morales, right? But he's taking up a different mantle. Now, how you want to value that next to, but Miles is Spider-Man, like that's one thing. There's still different mantles. There's still different variations. I love this cover. When this came out, I should have bought this. I didn't, and I wanted it just because I thought Peggy Carter's Captain America was freaking awesome. That's what it was in my head. It had nothing to do with movie speculation or anything. And, and I think a lot of people felt that way when this book came out. And I like that about spec. And you know that, Jeff. I like that when people get excited about a new character in a comic book that doesn't have to do with movies.
Mm-hmm.
But props or flops on this one? Right now, I'm going to have to give this book flops. Because I think people went into this book, just because of movie spec. And I just, and again, not to give away too much from the movie, and I don't want anybody in the comments giving anything away with the movie, but it's just, it's not who we saw in the movie. And I don't think there's staying power. I would like to see this book continue to, be a little cool key that will seek after just because of Peggy Carter's Captain America. But I just don't think there's long-term spec value when it comes to the movies, unless somehow we get another variation of Peggy Carter, and I mean, you could do it anyway. You could go back, say Chris Evans comes back as Captain America, because, he's living his life in some alternate timeline with Peggy. And what if he dies and, what if it's like the 60s and they're working with Hank Pym, and Hank Pym has, they recreated the super soldier serum and Cap dies and she has to, I mean, you can think of Marvel has the multiverse now. They have different timelines. They can do anything. And if we see Agent Carter turn into Captain America in the MCU. Maybe people will come back to this, but for right now, I got to give it flops.
That's fair. But and we know Captain Carter is coming back in What If season 2. That's for sure. And I for better or worse, Chris, and I think you'll agree with this book will always be associated with Captain Carter.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, association is fine as long as you don't have a misconception that
Yeah.
they really are like one and the same. I mean, they are a variation, so that relationship is fine. I just don't know long term if that's enough to, keep eyes on this book or even keep a higher value up on it.
I agree. So shit. I guess I'd have to give it flops too. I agree. I don't see it as having staying value. Yeah, I have to give it flops myself. So, all right.
I would love to hear what these guys think.
Yeah, guys, put
This
in the
is
comments
interesting.
props or flops for you. We love all of the kind of like the longer answers. We love reading that stuff, but literally you could just put props or flops because we would love for you to start using that vernacular and having fun with us doing that. All right, Chris, you have a third book as usual. And what would it be?
All right, everyone. This book is, first, I want to say I love when Silver or Bronze Age books hit the top 10. And it's a Bronze Age book. It's Thor 326. I'm not giving away if I'm giving it props or flops, though, guys. Let's look at these numbers. A lot of information here to take in, guys, so bear with me. First off, Thor 326. This is the first appearance of the second Scarlet Scarab. 551% upward trend sales when it hit the top 10 last week. Last week's high, 9.6. There wasn't a 9.8 sale, just a 9.6. $345. That's money. That's money for a 9.6. I mean, you could get the Wolverine #1 limited edition for roughly, it was hitting 5. I think it dropped down a little bit, but for a little bit more, you could get Wolverine #1 in a 9.6 for that much. So that's crazy. This week's high, 9.6, there wasn't any. There was no sales. Pay attention to this, folks, guys. Pay attention to this. Previous high in a 9.6 was $70. And that wasn't that long ago. It was less than a month ago on April 20th. Now, this high is a 393% increase in value from that sale. But this is a bit alarming. The previous high, 9.8, and there was only one. $30. Now, that was back in 2017, 5 years ago. We'll talk about that, though. Let's look at these average raws. When it hit the top 10, $37.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. When it hit the top 10, the average raw was 37. This week, the average raw is 22. 41% decrease in value. Now, guys, I hope you watched Moon Knight. This isn't a huge spoiler, but it is a character that showed up. I do believe, I mean, it's all over the news and, Marvel Studios, and they've even commented on this, but we get Layla. She is taking on the mantle of Scarlet Scarab. Now, for those that don't know, this is a complete what's the word, like a retcon, so to say, of this character, because it doesn't relate to either. There's 2 Scarlet Scarabs in the comics. They are both male, but we've seen them change characters up, but she's a completely different person taking on this mantle than both of them. And the first Scarlet Scarab in comic books made their first appearance in Invaders. I think it was Invaders 31 or 20. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was another Bronze Age book in the Invaders run. And then there's the second one. So it's really interesting that this one made the list. The average raw prior to the Moon Knight show was $6. All right. Jet, should I dive into this data more, or should I just say props or flops first?
Props or flops first. I think, yeah. And let's see what all you fine people think as
Yeah.
well. Go for it.
All right, guys. I got to get some water here because I'm gonna go in on this. Props or flops? This is one of the most interesting things I've seen on this list, and I'm giving it a big flops. Big flops. Invaders 23. Thank you, Azorus. Guys, look. There's a few talking points to bring up here. First, you got to look at the fact of what this book was doing before we knew that Layla in the Moon Knight show is all of a sudden Scarlet Scarab. It wasn't doing anything. And we recently had a similar situation where I talked about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man books. Issue number 6, El Muerto, the casting, and that shot that book up. I would actually say there's almost some more validity in that, because at least you knew this singer actor is playing the character right out of the comic books. This one is so weird because it's not even the same iteration, and then it's the second one in the comics. That is an awesome cover, by the way. So now let's look at this 9.8 sale of $30. Now it was 5 years ago, right? So a lot has changed. A lot has changed in the comic book market. I would guarantee that even if this book, say nothing happened with the Moon Knight show, if somebody bought this book in a 9.8 today without anything happening in the Moon Knight show, I could say indefinitely that it's going to sell for more than $30. I mean, it could sell for 60, maybe even 80, because it's a Bronze Age book. It's the first appearance of, a character that's not even a big character. But still, it could go for a little bit of money. But $346 in a 9.6. You got to put that in perspective. Of if a 9.8 hit the market last week, we know that 9.8s can sell from anywhere from double to 5 times that of their 9.6 counterpart. I could easily see a 9.8 of this book hitting $800, $900, even close to $1,000 with the way that people were buying up the 9.6. That's crazy. Now we go back and look at the average Raws. Nobody was caring about this book. I could give you an example of what was going on with this book before we knew that Layla in the Moon Knight show was a rendition of the Scarlet Scarab. People were buying this book because they probably either one of two things. One, they just like collecting Bronze Age Marvel, or two, they're or they just like Thor in general, or 3, they are trying to complete a run. And they were paying 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was a couple of $9 sales, probably high, raw, mid-grade. And that's fine. If I just recently completed my Thor run, if I didn't have this book, I paid $5, $6. I'd probably even pay $10 for it in a nice higher grade. It's a Bronze Age book. Hey, inflation, guys, inflation alone, right? But again, I brought this up on my last pick for Exiles number 3. Or excuse me, on my first pick for Vengeance number 1. When I said that little peak of even that book, that I feel that I gave it props, and I think long term it's props all the way. That peak, though, was an indicator of the volatility of the spec market. And this right here is a clear example, very similar to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 6. This is a clear example of the socio-cultural and psychological impact of our actions on the comic book spec market right now. We are not thinking. We are being reactionary. And we are going out and we are going into these purchasing decisions with the fear of missing out on these, with the fight or flight mentality of the need to have it right now, the psychological endorphin exploding rush of needing it right now, And that is what's driving these books to these crazy numbers. And it's not happening organically, because I've said this before. We are not allowing supply to catch up with demand. And I'm going to give this example again, Jeff. As soon as we got Layla announces the Scarlet Scarab, people went out and flocked to this book. But it takes time for flippers or sellers or dealers that have the book to catch on and say, oh, shoot, there's hype. Let me list this on eBay. Let me list this on Mercari or whatever it may be that they're selling this. So now that the hype comes, you get more and more people that have it to sell listing this on eBay and all the sites. And what happens? Supply starts catching up to demand. And that's how you get a $37 average raw be met with a $22 average raw the next week. A huge 41% drop in average sales. It's because those people that made those purchasing decisions, that made those buys, immediately, emotionally, reactionarily, on a reactionary type basis, they weren't doing their due diligence. They weren't sitting here and saying, well, what was this book selling for yesterday? Or if somebody starts bidding, they weren't setting a ceiling for their max bid. And they weren't saying, well, I'll pay maybe $15 for this, but if somebody outbids me, I'm going to stop and wait for the next one to be listed. It is a Bronze Age book, guys. It is. Okay? It's not a modern where you're going to find a plethora of high 9.8 potential grades. I get that. But still, in the great words of Mos Def, slow down. Slow down, folks. That's what I can advise you. Again, as we always say, Jeff, I'm not here to tell you what to buy or what not to buy. Go spend your money, blow your money. But before you blow your money, spending $300, $400 on this book that, in a 9.6, if I can just maybe borrow $1, just $1, that'd be nice. My son's got to take the bus to school. And then you can spend your 400, whatever. But flops, Jeff, flops. I don't, look, let me, before I let you jump in, I'll leave it at this. I'll play devil's advocate. I love playing devil's advocate against myself. I love it. And it's funny because I still get accused of being a tyrant with my opinion and, I can't ever see different perspectives. Not true. Because I argue against myself. And I'm going to say, Chris, what if the mythos behind this second Scarab in the comic books, what if they build? First off, I thought Layla was badass. She was almost more badass than Moon Knight. That's why I was kind of disappointed. Yeah. Actually, I watched the last episode again, Jeff, and I liked it better the second time. But I'm like, man, she stole the show.
Yeah.
Maybe they can really connect her character to where it fits more into this. And look, that could substantiate people going after this book a little more. But right now, I'm telling you guys right now, all those people that bought the book last week for there was even sales, raw sales that hit above $100. Those people, if they would have just waited, they could have probably paid $20 to $30 instead of paying $50, $60, $100 for this book.
Yeah, again, I'm going to reiterate the fact that Chris and I are not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, right? If this is a book you feel like you want to spend, what was it? Is it $345 for a 9.6? If it's worth it to you, do it. Honestly, Chris and I are just giving our opinion on props or flops in terms of long-term value of this book in relation to maybe the MCU or other affiliations with the character. Maybe in the comic books, what have you. I think it's a stretch. That's why I would give it flops as well. So I agree completely with you, Chris. I just find it baffling. It's insane how this book in a 9.8 went for $30 in 2017. It's incredible. So, but you know, who knows? Who knows how they could connect this character to previous iterations, if there are that in the Marvel Universe history. There's always the multiverse, Chris. So we shall see. I don't know, but I would give this book flops as well. But you guys all make, you know, hard-earned, you know, it's hard-earned cash here, and you spend it as you see fit. And we will not have any sort of, we will not judge. And that right there, everybody, is the top 10 look back props or flops. We'll have a new list next week. Chris will dissect at least 3 books, right, Chris? Sometimes it's more.
Sometimes.
And he really gets into the data. So, again, really appreciate that one, Chris. Good job on that. By the way, it's our 100th episode, and we are giving away another book, Chris. Let's just remind everybody that you need to be here at the end of the episode, which is coming up shortly. And this is the book we'll be giving away. High Republic #1, CGC 9.8. That's a beauty, guys, and you cannot go wrong with this book. Am I right, Chris? There are plans and other media for this book, video games, as well as.
There it is. Now you can see. There we go. My lighting has been a little off today, guys, so I apologize, but
yeah, who knows? Who knows? But it looks great, Chris. It looks great. Don't be so hard on yourself. All right, Chris. Here we are. We do this this segment each and every week. I always forget the name. Chris, can you help me out as to what it is?
Special 100th episode of being fresh from the comic shop.
That's right. Fly from the pressing salon. Each and every week, we ask you, the audience, to send in your fresh gets on Fresh from the comic shop, and we will show them off right here. That's right. Not only will we show them off, but you are already entered. You're submitted to potentially win a fantastic prize. A fantastic prize from our amazing sponsor, Tony Trembetta from EGS. Before we get into how to submit and what we're looking for in your submissions, we're going to tell you what EGS is. Chris, take it away.
All right, guys, and you need to make sure that you got to be following EGS on Instagram. You got to make sure you're subscribed to their YouTube. If you don't do those 2 things, you can still obviously. Was that?
Those links are down below. Sorry, I just interrupted.
No, those links are down below. It's very important. You guys obviously can still submit to Fresh from the Comic Shop, but you will not be entered into the giveaway unless you are following EGS on Instagram and subscribe to them on YouTube. But again, EGS, if you guys are looking for a secondary option to the grading companies like CGC and CBCS, EGS offers amazing product and service. This month, we are giving away this beautiful 9.6 King Spawn #1. That is a variant, and you can see the custom label there with just the colors that ride right into that book and make that book pop. So, and again, I like to remind everybody, Jeff, do we have the image of how they could save some money?
Heck yeah, we do.
That. Can you also, yeah, you guys also get an idea of the different variations of what they can do with your comics. They are very open to taking the customer's input on making those custom labels just as custom as you need them to be. But guys, they're not just custom label makers, folks. They have the standard blue universal certified label as well. They also do signature series as well. But if you guys are looking into it, you can save 5% off of your order using the code Cannon5. All you need to do again is go to egscomicsgrading.com, put in your order, use that code. You're saving yourself some money right there.
Yeah, guys. Right now, it's as simple as just following them on Instagram, following them on YouTube. The links are down below. May as well just do it as we get into Fresh from the Comic Shop. And what are we looking for from your submissions for you to potentially advance to the next round? Well, we want a nice presentation, nice composed shot. Get creative, get artistic, have fun with it. Make sure it's nice and well lit. Make sure it's in a nice, a setting that's kind of conducive to, it could relate, the background could relate to the issue. Have fun with it, guys. Get creative. We've seen a lot of cool creative things recently, actually for almost over a year now, and it's been very impressive. It could be a unique book. And Chris, does it have to be $30,000?
You could have found it in a 50-cent bin.
You could have found it in a 50-cent bin. It could be something unique that you've never seen before, which probably means we've never seen it before. Let us know why it's unique. And guys, this one right here, this weighs pretty heavy on Chris and I. I'll tell you that right now. We're not always the judges, but I'll tell you, story. Give it some heart. What does it mean to you? What does that book mean to you? Does it remind you of a family member? Does it remind you of the first book you ever picked up? What does it mean to you? Tell us the backstory, and that will weigh quite heavily. So those are the three things that we look for, the criteria for you to potentially move on to the next round. Now, Chris and I were off last week for Mother's Day. We were celebrating Mother's Day. We are not mothers, but we have mothers, and we have our children have mothers that we celebrate as well. We hope you guys had a great Mother's Day too. So Chris and I picked 4 books from those submissions, and we're just going to get into those first. Chris and I are going to pick our next semifinalist right now. So, Chris, what do we got? We got 360. He was just on the show. Yeah. Joe. He goes, nope, you aren't seeing double. Hidden in a 90s collection of dollar bin books were these 2 absolute gems. When I first came across them, I freaked out a little bit, only looked down and have a mini heart attack when I saw that they were extremely rare newsstand copies. Wow. Good stuff right there, Joe, a.k.a. 360 Comics. You need to be following him. The link is down below as well. All right, next up, we have, where did it go? Arana Escarlata. I don't know why it's not there. Okay, Neighbor to the North. Look at this. Would you look at this? I finally added the perfect complement of my Transformers #1 CPV. Optimus Prime. G1 is almost as old as I am and was my prized possession as a child. I finally have one back in my collection again. Not a comic, but 100% certified, fresh from the comic shop that tugs on all the nostalgia heartstrings. I transformed him and almost shed a tear. All of the memories of how much joy this brought me came rushing back. Autobots, roll out. This, I had him. I had that. Oh my gosh, Chris, that was one of my favorite toys of all time. And we have Comic Junkies. He found all these books at half price. That is good stuff right there. A lot of you did not submit, knowing that we did not have a show last week. But those are 3 right there. We had a 4th one, and you know what? I'm just going to pull it up on my phone. Chris, why don't you just talk about what we just saw real quick?
I still have my original Optimus, but when my kids were little, I let them play with it. So he's a bit of a mess. He's missing his hands.
All right, here is Arana Escarlata. As you can see, just received my first original comic art page of Wally West from Titans Rebirth #1. This is page 4 by Brett Booth and Norm Ratman. Love this page of Wally's return. That right there, I really dig. It is original artwork from a book that he has. All right, Chris, we have a decision to make. This will be our first semifinalist of the month of May to move on to that King Spawn #1 variant, EGS slab.
Yep. Well, I like 2.
Do tell. I like 2 as well.
I like anything, usually when we get original art solid, I'm an artist. So the Wally West art, but then I gotta put the Optimus package in there as a Transformer head myself. See my Transformers all over here. You can't see them, but they're there. I love it, man. I love it. I recently, well, not recently, it's been like almost 2 years now, finally got a copy. It's a lower grade copy of that Transformers #1 that I bought in. No, I didn't buy it in the collection, but I got a really good deal on it because it was getting out of my price range. I'm so glad to finally own it. That spoke to me personally. So those are my 2 out of the 4.
Okay. My 2 out of the 4 are the same. I really enjoyed that original artwork, and I rather enjoyed the Optimus Prime. It tugged at the heartstrings, and that was one of my favorite toys growing up. So,
well, I know what my '1 is.
Yeah, I know what my #1 is.
All right. Should we say it at the same time and see if it's the same?
Okay, ready?
3, 2,
2, 1. Arana Sparta. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
We might have to poll the audience.
Yeah. Shit.
Transformers #1, Optimus, or the Wally West original artwork? Should we poll?
All right, everybody. Let us know. The first to 5 moves on. Once we see
hold
the line.
on. Let's do this. Should we give them a number? Should we assign a number? That way it's easier. They're already freaking answering.
Yeah.
Never mind.
All right, the first to 5 under the line. Shit, never mind. There's already 1, 2, 3. There's 3 for Optimus, 1 for Wally West. 1, 2, 3. 4 for Optimus. And Optimus wins. Optimus Prime, neighbor to the north, you are moving on. Guys, we need to oh shit. Joe, we just saw that message.
Yeah, I just saw it too.
Damn it. Joe's still here, everybody.
Oh.
It's all good because you know what? I was gonna vote Optimus Prime anyway. So.
All right. Hey Joe, why don't you do this so we don't I don't know what you're doing for the next 20 minutes, but we have this week's submissions. So why don't you be the judge for that? Would you like to do that?
Yeah, why not? I'm here.
You are fantastic.
Right.
I didn't want to put you on the spot. I don't know if you have to, go to do some dinner or something. I don't know, or go to Wawa.
No, I just ate a scone during my break. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Should have eaten a butterscotch crimpet. Anyways, by the way, this is a great submission. Really, really nice.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
New
Crazy find. Crazy.
Yeah. So congratulations on that. All right, everybody. I know there's some confusion here, especially with Justin, aka Raising Elm Comics. That was last week's submissions. We were off. Chris and I picked the top 4, and that's what we went with. Congratulations, neighbor to the north. You are moving on to the semifinals. Let's just get into it, guys. Let's just get into this week's books. And we start off with Marvel Man 616, Vampire Tales #3, featuring the 3rd appearance of Santana, a cover appearance by Morbius. That is not a usual submission by Marvel Man 616. He's usually submitting the moderns, so that is nice to see a little bit of diversity in your collection. We dig it, man. We absolutely dig it. Good stuff. Real Caleb Leland, aka Cable Leland. Yes, you did submit. Hold on. Where did you go? Right there. You said you submitted somewhere. I don't know. You put a comment in here. There you are. Yeah, you did submit this week. You sure did. I love this too, especially the reasons that he loves it as well. One of my favorite runs in comics was Wolverine's first ongoing solo outing. Of course, I love just about any run they do with Logan. Seeing him back in the eye patch, the greatest disguise since Clark Kent's glasses on Madrid Report, makes me giddy. Missed the first printing, but luckily my local comic shop had the second printing. So, Comic Book Canon, I hopefully submit this as fresh from the comic shop. I love the whole patch kind of persona, and I love this cover as well. I'm glad that they're exploring some of those stories too. Super Crispy Comics, a former winner on Fresh from the Comic Shop.
Nice.
Congratulations, Comic Book Canon, on 100 episodes. You guys kick ass. Thank you very much. I had a blast with my baby girl. Thank you for rolling with your Tio Joe for free comic book day. We got a couple of free comic books from TCS Rockets. Then we went up to SoCal Comics, but we were super late for my boys' baseball game, so they were all out of freebies. So we hit up their dollar bins, which is the shiznit. Then last we went to our local library and they hooked us up with some books. That is a lot of books you got there. That sounds like a prosperous day, and we appreciate this submission. Good stuff, supercrispy.comics. Check out his leather making. He's super talented with his leather handwork. All right, next up we got Comic Noob, Amazing Spider-Man 51, second appearance of the Kingpin. I bought this from a coworker for below fair market value. Congratulations on that. I think we're going to see more Kingpin in the MCU. What do you guys think?
I hope.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I hope too, actually, as well. All right. You guys were not ready to answer any sort of question. Son of Comics, Spawn 311, Tom McFarlane, Chadwick Boseman tribute cover. This is one of my top 10 favorite Spawn covers of all time. There are a lot of Spawn covers out there. This one is incredible. It was really pretty cool for Tom McFarlane to make a cover tribute such as this. So good stuff indeed. Super Rad Comics. It's in rough. Oh, here we go. This is perfect that you're on here 360 because we replied back to this. Super Rad Comics. It's in rough shape, but I couldn't pass up for $11. Plus, the condition is only going to get worse because I'm going to insist everyone I know read it. 2 of my 2022 wish list acquired. Time to pick up the pace. What do you always say, Joe, about condition?
Oh man, low grade is better than no grade.
You are absolutely right. That's how I replied and tagged you on there because it is so well said. So well said.
I want to point out his setup too, with all the rocks.
Yeah,
for the thing.
Super Rad. You are impressive. Your submissions are always impressive. And we appreciate that. Shop for Comics. Oops, I almost ended the broadcast, guys. Did not want to do that. Shop for Comics. Where are you? What does he say? The Fantastic Four is a great cover. It sure is. We love us some Kirby, don't we, boys? Moving on, we got Nukes Comics. And it is, there it is. Fresh pickup. I recently picked up Amazing Spider-Man 70 from DBS. This issue leads up to the Sinister War miniseries. I'm way behind, but I'm looking forward to this volume ending and starting volume 6. A lot of people were looking for this volume to end as well. I've just heard that. I stopped. I didn't even bother. And it's painful because at least Chris and I, that's our favorite character of all time. So
I keep punishing myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but Nukes Comics, if you like it, keep reading it. To each his own. Comic Demon. He won last month's Fresh from the Comic Shop with his 420 homage. Last week's comics was a little less than April's haul. Haven't grabbed the heavy metal in a while. Had to grab the Tarna story. Goes back to being a kid in the. Sorry, he posts quite a bit. I decided to pick these indie IDW titles. So good stuff right there. Into Oblivion. He's back. I think he was dealing with some things, but it's nice to see him back. And hopefully everything is good on your end. Into Oblivion. Batman Volume 3, number 102. The first full appearance of Ghost Maker, created by James Tynion and George Jimenez. You know what? This was, Joe, this was a kind of a last minute thing. I just realized, I don't know if you have comics to share, if you care to. If you don't, Chris and I won't share any. I will share one book, though.
What do I got? What do I got in front of me? I got a pile. I got my Comic Tom 101 mystery mail call, and I got one to show. All
right, go
because
for
I've
it.
been picking this book up. Let's do this.
Go for it.
This is my 5th 9.8 slab of this book that I've been picking up.
Wow.
Been trying to get this one. I think this is a character that they're going to utilize at some point, whether it's in the animated universe or in the MCU. This character is really cool. This character, has got a diverse background that, they might utilize that in order to, give some representation. And yeah, it's Amazing Fantasy Volume 2, number 1 is the first appearance of Aranya. Her name's Anya Corazon, Heart of the Spider. She's got her own solo run and stuff, but this cover is awesome.
It really is.
9.8s are pretty affordable for that book still. You can get them for really like 200 to 250.
And that's a good call, man. We got 2 more Into the Spider-Verse movies coming, right? I think next, not this year, but next year is the part 1.
August. Yeah, August of next year. So a little over a year from now.
And then part 2 is the year after that, I do believe. So 2023.
I believe it's much sooner.
Okay.
And they just announced this week that there are going to be 240, I believe was the number, individual spider characters in that movie.
Wow. So would this be fair to say that there's a good chance she will show up as one of those 240 characters?
I can imagine. I think it'll be a situation where there'll be kind of like cameo characters in the background. Like, I don't think there's going to be 240 characters with speaking lines.
No.
But if you're familiar at all with Green Lantern, there's Green Lantern 25 has the first cameo appearance of infinite number of characters. It's like the Orange Lanterns, the Indigo Lanterns, Atrocitus, blah blah blah. It's going to be like that, in my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but they are going to pick and choose some newer characters that could be integral parts of the story. So hopefully, I think it's a good bet too. I really do. I think she's a good character to keep your eye out 4. All right, moving on. Who do we got? 1, Marvel verse DC. I picked up this lenticular comic this past weekend. I love collecting Silver Age comics and now lenticulars. So I thought this would pair up nicely, show off with my original Fantastic Four 49. My opinion, doesn't get any better than the dynamic duo Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. I don't know what comic book fan would be like, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, please. Nowhere near the comic book artists and writers these days. No. Moving on, we got who do we got? We got sorry guys. We got Cover Junkie Comics. Fresh from the comic shop with this Ghost Rider #1 San Diego Comic-Con glow in the dark exclusive variant in a CGC 9.6 signature series signed by none other than Donnie Cates and J. Scott Campbell. It's my first signature series slab and it's fucking gorgeous. Picked it up at my local comic shop on Free Comic Book Day at a steal for $38 out the door. Don't know if we'll ever see Cosmic Ghost Rider on the big screen, but I don't care. Either way, this book is a banger. That's a great cover. Great cover. Crazy character. I don't know if you guys have read anything about Cosmic Ghost Rider, but it's a bit insane and out there. And if you haven't, it's quite interesting as to who that character is. I will say that. You guys have to read it, actually. I don't know if you guys have or not. You just have to. All right, moving on. We got Raw Dog Comics in the house. My friends, I'm still mourning the loss of 2 comic book titans. I found this low-grade copy of House of Mystery 175 and had to get it. I'm going to continue to add my Neil Adams collection, as well as my Golden collection, as well as my collection of George Perez comic masterworks. Rest in peace, guys. They were giants. They were giants, not only because of their, being amazing artists, but amazing human beings as well that really kind of fought for artist rights and things like that. So respect to them. All right, Chris, what is your first fresh get of the week?
All right, let's do some Star Wars. I am trying to complete my Star Wars 1 volume run. I had some Whatnot credits, so they've been sitting there for I don't know how long. I'm sitting in all these sales, and I'm like, nope, not worth it, not worth it. And I found this seller, and it was on Star Wars Day, May the 4th. So he was doing an all Star Wars show. So I bid on a couple, and I got Star Wars number 80.
Oh, nice.
Dope cover there.
It is.
There is some significance with C-3PO story arc in this book, I think, but I don't know what it is actually. But these books are continually going for premium, especially the later issues. And I think I won this on a $4 bid. So,
congratulations. That's a cool cover. Definitely a cool cover. Good stuff indeed. All right, moving on. We got more good stuff from you fine people. We have, I was so ready for this, and now I'm like lost again. We got, is it Matt Stadge? Yeah, it's Matt Stadge. Happy 100th show, Comic Book Canada. Very happy to finally add the last Centennial issue I needed for my Amazing Spider-Man run. The condition of book is awesome, in the 9s for sure. And if all the other Centennial issues in the background aren't enough effort for fresh from the comic shop pick, I don't know what is. Well done, Matt Stadge. That's what we're talking about. A well-composed picture right there. And a lot of thought to the background, a lot of thought to tying it into our 100th. Thanks for giving us a shout as well. I hope you're paying attention here, Joe. This is not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all.
I'm running the numbers right now.
All right, good. Here we go. Mark Leneker. Speaking of numbers, this guy, to celebrate Comic Book Canon's 100th episode in the community, Jeff and Chris built. Guys, you've already here. We didn't build this. Here's 8 decades of 100th issues. Wow. Incredible. Captain Marvel, Adventures, 1949. There were about 24 titles that reached issue 100 by the end of the 40s, but only one used silver metallic ink on the cover. That's the top left right there. And as you'll see, we're going left to right. Boy Comics, 1954. A great but somewhat forgotten GA series about Chuck Chandler, a military cadet in Hockey Star, who took up the mantle of crime buster after his parents were killed by Nazi criminal Iron Jaw. Unfortunately, like many titles, the backlash against comics neutered and ultimately killed the series in 1956. The next one is Journey into Mystery 1964 and Tales to Astonish 1967. Marvel repurposed their Atlas fantasy titles, showcase their new superhero universe. Journey 100 is the first Kid Loki and Thor, while Tales 100 is a classic Namor versus Hulk battle. All right, we got bottom left. Showcase 1978 took almost 25 years to reach issue 100, but they managed to celebrate by telling one big story with almost everyone who had appeared previously. Next one is Power Man and Iron Fist 1983 with Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, and Daredevil. It's only a matter of time before the Heroes for Hire get a Disney Marvel show. Let's hope so, everybody. Nice Ernie Chan painted cover. It is absolutely Wolverine from 1996. A hologram cover is all about the 90s. Logan is transformed into an even more bestial version. Spawn 200 or Spawn from the year 2000. Image Comics flagship character and a strong seller for 3 decades. Death of Angela in the Image universe, at least. She moves her way over to Marvel, by the way. The Walking Dead. No Image channel has been more successful than Robert Kirkman's zombie epic, which became a cultural phenomenon in the 2010s. It made him, and especially AMC, very rich. And finally, we got Batman from the 3rd series. Lee Bermejo, variant, first appearance of the Ghostmaker, the Dark Knight, who started in the Golden Age, takes us full circle to the beginning. Mark Leneker, we truly appreciate you and your comic history knowledge. Always good, always good indeed. All right, next up we got me, actually. This is who we got. Me. Guys, not exciting at all except for one issue. Stopped by my comic shop yesterday. Had no time in the past few days, but love this cover. Moon Knight number 10. Just a cool looking cover. Very cool looking cover. And we'll move on from that. Okay. All right. All right. Next up, we got Comic Toby 420. All new X-Men 128, 129. To end the first appearance versus cameo debate. Fuck it. Just get them both. These are the first appearances of Marvel's Phantom X. Good stuff. And I like what he has going on with the toys up there. Is that Nimrod in the middle? I don't know. Yeah, it is.
Looks like it.
The one I'm asking that says Nimrod
Yep.
underneath. It's definitely Nimrod.
Yep.
It looks like Nimrod. Oh, it says Nimrod underneath.
Yeah, and there's the helmet to the left.
That's me, guys. All right, moving on. We have Nori Jordan. This is a nice haul, guys. This is a very nice haul.
Ooh.
I like to mix it up every once in a while and do Thunderbolt submissions. Believe it or not, I collect other stuff too. I'm excited about the new Thor movie, so I picked up some fun. These are more than fun, by the way. It's fun Jane Foster books. I already have a 9.8 Thor first print, but I found nice second and third print copies and some other nice books from the series. Finally, I picked up New Avengers number 7, the first Illuminati, for $25 on a Whatnot auction. On to next week. Good stuff, man. There's a lot of good issues there that I think will relate to the film. Obviously, that first Thor right there. I am excited. I am very excited. I think the next Marvel series we have to look forward to is Miss Marvel, and then July will be Thor. All right, Joe, what do you got? Second fresh kid of the week.
So I texted my wife in between while you guys were showing books and said,
Well
"Hey,
done.
bring that stack of books that I bought I went flea market and yard sale hunting today."
Nice.
So I got some pretty interesting things, and these two go together. This guy had this sealed box.
What?
I posted this on Instagram. Sealed box of Marvel Universe. These things were going for a pretty penny like a year and a half ago. They're not as hot right now, but still these things sell for like $150 online, 160, 170, something like that. I asked how much and he said 50. I said, "Can I give you 40 for it? I'm always looking for a deal." And I walked away with that. And I said, "Do you have any comics?" He said, "I just have one." Now I want you guys to guess. If someone just has one comic book, what comic book is it most likely going to be?
X-Men number 1.
X-Men number 1 is a very good guess, but I guess if you go statistically, it's X-Men number 1 because it was the most printed book. But this book is you'll probably find it more often as the only comic book someone has.
Interesting.
Is it Death of Superman?
It's Death of Superman.
I got it.
Now, the interesting thing about this Death of Superman
Oh shit! Look at
is that it's a
that.
newsstand, which I actually have never found one in the wild. Not that I'm a big Superman guy at all, but he said, "Yeah, 50 cents, it's yours." So Yeah, I got a good deal on that.
That's a deal, man. Technically, you've showed us 2 books, but we'll get back to you for one more. That's
It was one
a good,
grouping.
one story. That's a nice haul, man. $40.50 for all of that.
Yeah,
How
I'm
much
on
is that
that.
newsstand going for fair market value? Just curious.
Yeah, I saw them online with the Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, between 10 and 20, depending on conditions.
Still, it's
Yeah.
it's going to be sought after because it is a newsstand. All right, that's good, man. Good stuff. You got it for less than a quarter of the price. The cards. That's excellent. Well done indeed. We have C to the G up next. Special double size 100th issue for the 100th episode of Comic Book Canon. Shout out to Jeff and Chris for everything you guys do for the community. Marvel Comics Star Wars number 100. We appreciate it, but you guys honestly are what make this thing happen. So we appreciate you more than you appreciate us. It's not a competition, but we just made it so. Isn't that right, guys? Yes. Next up, we got this one blew my mind. He's already won, but my God, he's raised the bar. That is Justin, a.k.a. Raising Elm Comics, formerly known as Saw Marshall 007. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to have you guys just digest this picture first. How amazing is this? How amazing is this? I mean, come on. This is what he says. For the Comic Book 100th episode, I recreated the popular Wolverine meme. Patience isn't my strong suit, but my Wolverine Limited Series 1 through 4 just came back from CGC in less than 2 months. I also had each one signed by Chris Claremont. Thrilled to have these in the collection, and I can't wait to share them with our little man. To Chris and Jeff, a huge congratulations for 100 episodes. Y'all are the best there is at what you do. Well played. Thank you very much. I mean, like, honestly,
Jeff.
This was Hall of Fame caliber.
Yeah.
We haven't even started afresh from the Comic Shop Hall of Fame, but
Yep. Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple to that. We need to start one.
I think so.
We need to start, and we can even create our own hashtag FFTCSHOF.
Okay.
But this is what I think we should do. This is what I think we should do.
Ridiculous.
When we get our first, like, I don't know, 25 or 50 Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame entries, it doesn't matter if you won before or not, because you got ones like this where he's won before, but this one is like Hall of Fame status, right?
I mean,
we get our first 25, maybe 50 in there, and I say we do a giveaway specifically taking the best of the best.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Absolutely. So you guys all have to up your game, man. That is probably the first Hall of Fame entry right there. Joe, your thoughts on that?
You heard me laugh out loud when that came up on the screen.
Unbelievable. I mean, I don't get sick of it. And by the way, somebody did point out, I love the the dish gloves he's got rubber dish gloves on.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that the first time around.
So good. So good. All right, here we go, guys. Moving on. Very distracted. Who's up? Chris, what's your second fresh get of the week?
All right. This is funny because big shout out to Ryan in State of Comics. We had Ryan on the show way long back. He has an awesome store in the Michigan area. Yeah. He does the final order cutoffs. I pre-ordered my Teenage Mutant, Last Ronin number 5, which I just got. I could have showed that off. But when I pre-ordered that back in November, I ordered a couple other comics, and you have to wait for the pre-order to come before you get them all. So I waited like 7 months for this book. It's really awesome. Star Wars Crimson Reign number 1. This is the second printing. And I love it because it's got the black and white Vader Palpatine in the background.
That's a great looking cover, dude. That is a great looking cover.
So
I love it.
Very long wait. Happy to finally. I received the package. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember.
It's like a gift from you that you forgot about.
Yep.
Congrats on that. All right. By the way, I'm excited to read those. War of the Bounty Hunters was a little underwhelming towards the end. I'm excited to read those. Moving on, we got Union Josh Comics. Here we go. Well, I've got a huge Fresh from the Comic Shop for this week alongside First Appearance Friday. Here is the first UK reprint of Uncanny X-Men 4, the first appearance of the Scarlet Witch, the first appearance of Quicksilver, and first appearance of the Toad, first appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and the second appearance of Magneto. Wow, a lot of amazing appearances in a book that is quite hard to find. This is definitely a book for display now, a book that's not the original, but having a UK magazine-sized copy of my favorite X-Men book is not bad at all. Super glad to own a piece of history and a book that I'll treasure forever. The Scarlet Witch is not done. She's fighting in the backdrop. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, Union Josh. Thank you, as always. Next up, we got E. Marvell. Bruh. That's how I read it. It's all caps. It says bruh. B-R-U-H, exclamation point. So I say bruh. This issue had a lot of different emotions wrapped up into one. It was about friendship, loyalty, depression, aging, reality, and understanding that all these emotions wrapped into one giant event. Plan or circumstance can get you killed, and sometimes people are just better remembered how friends lived instead of replaying over and over how and why they died. Bliss on Tap Comics, bravo once again for an awesome job. Well done. I've heard a lot of good things about this series, guys. I don't have it. That first issue was hot, but E. Marvell seemed to like it as well. Comic Hunter 73. By the way, we have a ton of submissions here. This is great. Fresh from the Comic Shop for Union Josh Comics. Grim #1 from Boom Studios, subbed for this months ago. Then forgot about it. Picked it up on Wednesday and really enjoyed it. Good stuff indeed. Guys, it's the return of the comic couple, April and Tommy. Hooray! April X Visions. Love this Mary Jane variant cover. Tommy Boy Collections picked up for me in Nashville. Goes well with my Funko collections. Definitely. That is such a cool cover, homage cover. Really dig that. And then, by the way, both these guys have won separate months. They step up their game also. Tommy Boy Collections new score Black Knight #1 and a 1966 Impala, but just sold the Impala to April's old boss, keeping the Black Knight. Yeah, I don't think he included the Black Knight in that, but good stuff right there. We got Goonish Lurker. Just a sample of the haul I purchased from a childhood local comic shop that will be closing their doors next week for good. Guys, that is really sad to hear. Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics was the first local comic shop I set up a hold slot.
I've been there.
You been there?
Oh man, I've been there. Yeah, that place. I went there back in 2013, man. Oh,
yeah,
that sucks.
So that's even sadder because you could relate to that place. He said, "Look, it's the first local comic shop. He had a hold slot when he was old enough to buy comics on his own. This haul includes a recalled edition of Batman and Robin, The Boy Wonder, #10, Deadpool Volume 2, #1, X-Men Grand Design #1, the Ed Piscor variant, Marvel Collector Item Classics #3, reprint of the first appearance of Doctor Strange. Hope everyone enjoys this submission. Have a great 100th episode. Hope to join you then. I think you're here, Goonish. So, but really sad to hear that.
That sucks.
That's
such a vintage store, that whole vibe. That's a bummer.
That hits home.
And you know what makes it even more of a bummer? I went to another shop a couple miles over, and it was like, you walk in and it's super clean, and they got the expensive statues in the glass, and all of their back issues are in Mylar. And my son, my oldest, was 7 years old at the time, and we're picking out a book for him, and he picks one up. We were followed the whole time. And my son ended up not wanting that book, and he put it back, and he was like, "Are you going to buy that?" So I ended up having to buy the book for him. And I'm like, wow, so we can't even come in here and look at comics. So, while I understand, you want to keep your comics crisp and all that, man, it's just, it's such a night and day of what I experienced when I went to Colorado and went to these two shops, and to hear that this is the one that's shutting down. It just breaks my heart.
It is sad. It is sad indeed. We've all been there though before. We've all had those shops that have closed down, and so but you got a nice little haul there, Goonish, and you have the memories. I know that's not much consolation, but again, all right, moving on. We got 6 630 Collectibles. What does 630 have to say? Added some more books to my nephew's Miles Morales collection. He's close to filling his first short box. Congratulations there. And I haven't read any of these what ifs. I'm waiting for them to come out on Marvel Ultimate, but I'm looking forward to that. All right, guys. Here is my second fresh get of the week. Not exciting at all.
Hey, Jeff, before you go, I just want to say 630 Collectibles might be the Bizarro version of me. 360
Oh
Comics,
my
630
God.
Collectibles. That's
You're right, actually.
Yeah.
Let's 630, please. If you're like super, like you have this huge head of hair,
long hair,
yeah, and like
really
wear
tall
white t-shirts, and I don't know. Let's see. If you're comfortable, send us a picture.
Sure.
We would love to see that. That's well played there, Joe. Well played. All right. Again, not exciting, but really cool cover. Darth Vader, number 22. We love these covers here. All right. Moving on. I didn't get much, guys. I may have even showed those may be doubles. I may have showed them off a few weeks ago. I don't even know. My brain's all just, I don't know. This guy, guys, y'all know him. Azorius Tiger. Goodness gracious. Silver Surfer 13. First appearance of Doomsday Man. Awesome John Buscema art. It really is. Look at that. Just a classic cover, guys. Classic cover. Really, really, really like what Azorius always brings to the table. Joe, we like what you bring to the table, too. What is your third fresh get of the week here?
A weird one. And I'm pretty sure when I was on this show way back many months ago, I brought an error printing, and I'm actually not 100% sure this is an error printing because I cannot find any information on it. So if anyone watching this has any information, speak up, DM me, let me know. This is the Mighty Thor. I forget what volume, but it's the 2011 run. Now, this is cover A. It is firmly cover A. There's nothing different about this book than the cover A's that I see online, on eBay, on Key Collector, all that stuff. But for some reason, up in the corner, you see that? It says Marvel Variant Edition.
Interesting.
Everyone I see online just says Marvel, I forgot, it says like PSR 1.
Right.
Doesn't say anything about Variant Edition.
Same color and everything?
That's weird.
Color, same barcode. When I could find pictures of the back and stuff, it's all the same.
Interesting.
This came in a collection, and there wasn't just one. There were 3 copies that all have this possible error on it. So I've been looking into it. Can't find any information. I brought it up in one of my live streams. Oh gosh, I got real fuzzy here.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Reconnect in a second. Yeah.
There you go. Maybe it's so trippy that it's out your camera. Your hand looks great though.
It's out of focus. I might just be out of focus for a little bit.
Listen, I just went on Cover Price. They don't have it there either.
I checked all the big websites, Googled stuff, couldn't find one on eBay, and every picture is unlike these. So
I'm looking at it now too. It's crazy.
Rare here, yeah.
That's fascinating. Well, that's one to be on the lookout for. And if anybody in the audience has anything, Matt Stash has a good question. Does the barcode doesn't indicate a different printing?
Nope. So barcode, everything is the same.
Huh. It's 111.
Yep.
Wow.
Interesting. All right. Well, more to come, hopefully. Hopefully somebody has some information on that one.
Yeah, now I'm like, now this is going to be like...
Yeah, that's like a mystery. It's absolutely...
Yeah.
All right, here's another great
journey
one
into mystery.
This is our Susan Lucci of Fresh from the Comic Shop. His name is Nerds Being Geeks, aka look at this. The Haunt of Fear, number 17. It was a goal of mine to find an OG EC title this year. Mission accomplished. Wow. Released in pre-Comics Code 1953 and surviving the book burnings of the time. This iconic book has been homaged recently in another horror anthology series, Ice Cream Man. This didn't cost too much, just an arm and not a leg. Get it, guys? Wow, an arm and not a leg. He's got an arm. Okay.
That looks like a pretty gnarly arm. What's going on there?
It does.
Ooh.
Literally, I hope that's not his arm, but please let us know if it is. All right.
You got bit.
Yeah, Chris, your final fresh get of the week. What do you got?
All right. So this is a cool. I don't want to give away personal information. Hold on.
Please don't.
Okay. This is cool because, well, first off, this is more whatnot. Oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Credits. I have whatnot credits. So remember, I got the Star Wars one and whatnot credits, and then this was from the same. No, this wasn't from the same guy. This was from a different guy. It was his first sale that he was having, I believe, and I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen this cover before, even though I'm very familiar with this run, but I guess not up this late into the 90s. And this is Sensational She-Hulk number 53, and it's ASM 39 cover swipe, homage cover.
Oh yeah.
The first John Romita Sr. I can't believe I've never, or if I did, I just forgot about it, but I didn't even know that this cover was out there. I'm very familiar with all the, very, very iconic covers in this run. But being that ASM 39 is one of my favorite covers, and he had a $15 price tag, and I won this again for like $4. So
good stuff. It's towards the end there too. So so that's probably a lower print run, but that doesn't mean anything, as you like to say. The whole demand and all that.
Now, don't say it doesn't mean anything.
No,
but it doesn't mean everything.
There we go. There we go.
I just picked that book up too.
Yeah?
Yeah, just like a week and a half ago in a collection
nice.
I bought.
That's
It was in there. 90s collection.
Yep.
That is a straight up, but again, definitely a lower print run on that one. All right. We got Arana Escarlata. I like this one right here. Before and after. Amazing Spider-Man number 75, signed by Patrick Gleason, Virgin variant with Ben Reilly Chasm remark. Arana was not happy with what's going on with Ben Reilly, not in the least bit. And finally, to round out the show, we got 0879 Lines, aka Serge Henderson, with these beautiful Punisher books. Nice covers there. Good pickups as well. Wow, that was quite the submissions we got. Now, Joe, you have a job to do. You didn't even know that these responsibilities are going to be heaped up, upon you. You did have responsibilities. You came through very well. But this right here could be even more difficult. Now, while you do that, I'm going to show you my third fresh get of the week. You just start processing some things here. Give us 2 or 3 books that you are on the top of your head. And then we'll decide on the next semifinalist who's going to go up against the, I guess, neighbor to the north, Optimus Prime. All right, keep rolling ahead. Here we go, guys. Now, Chris, I didn't talk to you about this, but I went to my local comic book shop yesterday, and it's hard just to look for issue 100. Just looking in the back issue bins, it's like taking me forever. And I had to go. My daughter had a recital, and I was like under the gun. And I'm like, I'm not going to find an issue 100, but I found an issue 100. And I don't want to get everybody's hopes up because it's not a sought-after issue by any means. But it is Nightwing's extra-sized 100th issue, where it says breaking up is hard to do.
Dang it, you froze. There it is.
I found that. I did that. 100th issue for this 100th episode.
Oh, that's not the. So that's the older run, not the current one. Because I think the current run is pushing 100 right now, right?
Yes, it's not the current run.
Yep.
86, 87.
Yeah, this is from February 05, so probably in the 80s it would be. Yeah, but this cover, I don't think it's Humberto Ramos, but it looks like him.
Looks a little similar, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of his work, except on Strange Academy. Anyways, guys, so that was my 100th issue. I'll be keeping that or giving it away. I don't. All right, Joe. What do we got, man? What do we got?
So I think it's awesome that you guys have such this unique thing here that you guys do, because I don't know a lot of channels that really incorporate a lot of, people showing off what they got every week. That's one of the things that when I first saw your channel, I was like, that's really cool. I want to be a part of that. And
thank you.
It's great that so many people, their submissions this week had to do with congratulating you guys. So, everyone that did that, you guys are all at the top of my list because you did something meaningful. There were a couple other ones that really stood out to me. One of them being one of the 100-issue ones. It was I'm sorry, I remembered the books and not the people's names, but it was the Spider-Man 100.
Matt Stadge.
There we go. Matt Stadge with the Spidey books in the background, like it's kind of culminating like all the issues of Spider-Man leading up to 100. I know that all those are after 100, but nonetheless, just showing Spider-Man issues in the background. It's like all the, episodes of this show leading up to this 100th episode. So that one is near the top of my list, as well as I'm a big horror guy. That one with the hand.
Oh yeah.
Nerds being geeks.
Absolutely, yeah. The Haunt of Fear book. Anything old, and even the reprints of like all the old EC stuff. They're awesome books to find and pick up, and just open up and see the things that were going on in there prior to the code, and when things were kind of out of hand, kind of out of control within horror comics, some crazy stuff going on. So that one's up there. And then my third out of the finalists here, I got to go with that Fantastic Four book with Thing on the front. And one of the things I like about this, I obviously really like the setting, with the rocks, obviously very indicative of the character. But something that Super Rad did that I do a lot is they tagged the Baxter Building as the location.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that is. I always do, like, if I post like a big X-Men key, I'll set the location as Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's definitely something that added a little bit in a way that most people do not add to their photos, is doing the location there. But man, these three are all good, but can I say it now? Who my winner is?
Drum roll.
It's that last one. Absolutely. Yeah. Super Rad Comics. That everything about that picture, the post, the stylization, the background, the location tag, everything about that. And low grade, better than no grade.
Better than no grade. Absolutely. Well done, Joe. And well done, Super Rad. You are going to go up against Neighbor to the North this week to see who moves on to the finals. Wow, Joe, seriously, you did an amazing job. Chris and I have to discuss if this counts as your second appearance as a guest co-host, because it kind of does. You did us a giant favor by kicking us off the show, or kicking me off the show, but also stepping in to do this fresh from the comic shop, because it's not easy for Chris and I to do this. So we really appreciate you being a part of that. We hope you continue on for the next few minutes, but if you have to go, we understand that. I want to be respectful of your time, because we're going to be giving away what, Chris? What?
Star Wars High Republic #1 in this beautiful CGC 9.8.
All right.
I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
What are the rules? How is this going to work? I don't even know the questions.
Yep. So there's two of us. Okay. We got Jeff and myself here. I'm going to ask the question.
Too. Yeah.
Well, I meant as comic book canon, as the two pieces. You guys are obviously essential. You guys are almost like the vital organs that keep us, keep the brain and the heart going. But with Jeff and I being the two parts of the show, I wanted to break this down. So we're gonna ask a question pertaining to Jeff, and if everyone that gets those right, you're going to be moving on to be able to answer the second question. All right, so guys, if you get the first question wrong, when I answer the second one, I just humbly ask that you respect the giveaway and don't answer, even though if you know the right one, right? Because we want all those answers to pop up to be folks that didn't, or folks that did get the first one right. And whoever gets that first one right, or that second one right, is going to win. So remember, the first question, you don't have to be the first one. You just have to get it right. And then we're going to calculate all of them. And Jeff, it might take me a minute, but I will be calculating. I mean, it won't take too long to get everyone that got it right.
Okay.
All right, sound
So
good?
this is a question about me that you know the
Yep.
answer to.
But I'm willing to take, I wanted to go out the box with this because 100th episode,
Do we
bigger
do the whole
9.8.
Everybody has to answer under the line.
Yeah, we can do the line. But again, since remember guys, the first one, it's not about getting it right first. It's just about getting it right. And all of you guys are going to move on to the second one. So I had to make sure
here as the referee. I wish he had some black and white stripes. Fair.
Yeah, I wish we had a lot of questions already and a lot of things brought up that people just being here tonight would already know the answer. So I had to stay clear of what's Jeff's favorite band, like Pearl Jam, or what's Jeff's favorite team or football team, the Eagles, things like that. So staying away from that. Okay. Now those that have been around a while though should definitely know this. I hope. If nobody gets this, you guys breaking my balls here.
I
man.
may not even get it.
All right. Are we ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give you guys a couple clues too. We've had a guest. We've had a special guest on this show a couple times that works for a company that has a website, a well-known website. So the question is, what company that's related to comic books and pop culture did Jeff work for prior to whatever it is that he does now? That's not relevant. What company did Jeff work for that's relevant to comic books and pop culture? We had a guest on this show that works for that same company. They're well known. They have a well-known website.
Are we doing the line?
Oh, do the line. Yeah, sorry, do the line. And then
Feel free to answer.
Go ahead. The line
I
will really
don't think we're going to get this. I don't talk about it much.
Pretty sure it's Build-A-Bear Workshop.
You got it. You got it. I'm the guy that has to put the stuffing into the giant tubes.
No. Your job was comic book related. You designed the outfits that had to do with
Yes.
Marvel and DC
there you go.
characters.
The Darth
We'll
Vader
give you
bears.
something
Yeah.
here.
It wasn't Budweiser. Somebody else said Build-A-Bear, not BCW.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know
Man.
if people are going to get this.
It's okay. It's their website. Their website is really their business. All right, let me put it like that. It is a .com.
Definitely
We
not
had
AT&T.
we had one of the big faces of this website on as a guest. He's a funny guy.
Not Disney, not Google.
And it's not, it's comic book centered. You guys are
CBR
breaking
is
my heart.
getting there. Mark Lineker's getting there. It's not cover price. I told you, this is not easy. It's not short box.
Well, don't
I
tell
thought
them
for sure it'd be at
people to
least
get
a
right
few.
answers.
All right, I'll keep my mouth shut.
All right, I'll give another hint.
All right.
This individual that works for this website, who is a big face of this website, he filled in for me when I had COVID. Jeff actually was responsible for hiring him for this website, this big comic book company website.
We haven't seen it yet.
You guys are killing me. We're canceling the canon now.
Yeah, it's
Oh
canceled.
my gosh. Maybe I should.
You guys don't know. You guys are not involved in my life and don't know.
I know, right? Maybe
about
this
me.
should have been the second question, man. This time.
This is a tough one.
Comic book canon's New Mutants. 100,
All right.
100 issues done.
I'm giving you more. I'm going to give you guys more. Here we go. Again, it's a website. It's a big website. It's a big comic book website.
They do breaking
right.
news, like big time, like a lot.
News. They do movie news, comic book news, and they have this guy who actually shares my name who does a lot of the featured video stuff, the feature news stuff. It is a comic book website. Think outside of just comic books too. Like I said, movies, movie announcements. It's a credible source. It's not We Got This Covered. It's not CBR because they're trash. Oh my gosh. All right, Jeff. I think I might have to.
Hey, time out.
I'm keeping the slab. No, maybe we should we do it? Should we do another one?
Hey, if it's cool with you, I'll just take the slab.
Yeah, probably. You earned it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How about a different
Why can't? How about we just do your question? Is yours more difficult?
I got one. I'm gonna change it up here. This is the last chance I'm giving you guys. Okay, come on. It's still gonna pertain to Jeff. Many of you know
I had nothing to do with this, guys. I'm pretty vain, but not this vain.
I'll give the website when we're done here. God, guys, gosh. Jeff and I are both musicians. All right. So let's go back to a music question. What instrument does Jeff play? No line. Let it out, guys. What instrument does Jeff play?
Glockenspiel. Everyone.
I mean, you guys can even guess this and get it right.
All right. So somebody, how do we do this?
Let it all come in, and don't say if they got it right yet. We're gonna let everyone here come in. We're gonna do a line for when it stops. So get your answers out. We'll give them maybe two. Let's give them 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a very long 2 minutes.
Or maybe we'll give them 1 minute. 60
Serge
seconds.
Henderson says I played the flu.
The bugle. I love it.
Oh man. I think we're gonna give it 10 more seconds.
Okay.
It's one of those things. What's the one where you like move your hand? Theremin? Is that what it's called?
That's
like
hard,
move your
man.
hands.
That's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, here we go.
All right. Yeah. We're closing. You got a line, Jeff, ready to end it?
The line is being entered.
All right. 5,
now.
4. Oh, he got it. Okay, there you go.
All right. So I'll tell you
So
that
what's the instrument, Jeff?
I play the drums.
Drums. All right. So I'm going to go and tally everyone that got drums. Somebody said NASA for the website. Dale. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got Peter. Peter got drums. Trumpet. Tommy. Drums.
Somebody said spoons.
Yeah, that's another one. That's a difficult.
That's kind of like drums.
My grandfather played spoons in a polka band.
Matt Stash.
I have mad respect for that. Spoons are not easy to play.
No.
I mean, you're drumming stuff, right?
It's percussive.
Yeah, but it is. But it's the technique you have to use on that. It's not easy
You have to hold your hands a weird way.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Shop got drums.
I can tell you guys the site that I worked for. It was comicbook.com.
Say it again.
I tried to give a hint. I didn't know it was that, but I tried. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was like saying names of comic book websites in what I was like. I said, if it's cool with you guys, I'll take the slab, like Bleeding Cool.
Oh, there, yeah.
I was trying to give like hints at what it could be without
what other sites could be. Yeah, everybody said CBR.
Yeah,
comicbook.com.
They break a lot of, and then we did have Brandon Davis on that. He called, or I called him. I can't remember. Somebody.
All right, we got 5 finalists.
Okay, here we go.
We got Peter Thornton, Tommy, Matt Stas, Shop for Comics, and Matt Labno. 2 Matts in there. So guys, everyone else, thank you guys so much for participating.
And the numbers drop.
Oh, really? Come on, guys. You can stick with us. Let's root these 5 folks on. So now, guys, the line does matter, and it's the first one. And remember, if you're not one of these 5 guys, keep it to yourselves. Don't spoil it. So, Jeff, get that line ready.
It's ready.
Okay, guys. Peter, we got like the 5, we got the Rangers or the Voltron, the 5 lions here ready to form Voltron. Peter, Tommy, Matt Stash, Shop, and Matt Labno. You guys are going to be up for a test here. We got the line ready. Don't answer until you see that line.
Because the first person that answers will win, right?
First person that answers it correctly wins. Karkum! Damn it! Karkum already won.
No way.
Karkum won without me even asking it.
You're bullshit. Are you serious?
Look at that. Look at that. Bring it up. You see it. You see what he says.
What was the question going to be?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was about to, you sold that. Wow.
Karkum, that's you get a win from my heart, okay?
Oh, that's worth a lot.
Because remember, guys, it's still in effect. Always. Always. You don't change. I'm not that ran through yet, so.
All right, we haven't put the line in, guys.
All right, guys. Remember,
question, then we do the line.
Line. First person to answer it correctly. Here we go.
Oh boy.
I am half of comic. I know I'm doing this on purpose. I'm building the anticipation. I am half a comic book canon. I am Journo's Comics. You ready, Jeff?
I know the question. Go ahead.
As soon as I'm done. Where did I get the name Journos from?
Oh.
Where did the name Journos come from? What is the name Journos?
This is a tough one, Chris.
It's really Journo because it's apostrophe S, right? I'm possessive of my comics, Journo's Comics. Where does Journo come from? Peter, Tommy, Matt Stash, Shot, Matt Labno.
Oh, guys, this is tough. Oh man.
All right, we're gonna have to. You guys. We're gonna have to. So,
next question.
Love you guys, Serge. Love you, and Travis. Love you, but you guys, you kind of ruined it because it was I said this. Peter, Tommy, Matt Stash, Shop, and Matt Labno were the 5 finalists to answer this question. I asked that you guys, if you aren't one of those 5, you keep it to yourself. Oh man, that was the question too, man. That was the question.
I have a question about you.
Yeah.
Can I?
You want to run it?
Yeah.
Guys.
Say it again, Chris.
I'm going to say it again. Oh, it's all good, Travis. Yeah, I know. I thought about that, Travis. I was thinking about that. Yeah, because of if you're just jumping in or anything, it's okay. It's just it's okay, but that was the question. So it's like, oh, but I think Jeff, you can come back with one.
I got one. Are you ready?
All right. So reminder, letting everyone know this is for Peter, Tommy, Matt, Shot, Matt Labno. If you're just joining us, unfortunately, you missed the first question to get us here. Here we go. Wait for the line, guys. First correct answer wins.
Wait for the line and only those 5.
Only those 5.
Here we go. What is Chris's hip hop name?
I just took a listen the other day.
Oh,
Here we go. What do we got? As y'all know, Chris has performed worldwide, opening up for national acts, amazing acts. Chris?
Uh-oh. I think he froze.
We got one. Oh man, you guys are awesome. Mr. What? Mr. Black. Peter Thornton. Did Peter come up first?
Peter
On
Thornton,
your
right
guys'
away.
thing?
Right away.
Peter.
Congratulations, Peter Thornton.
Matt. Shout out to you, Matt Labno, for getting it. Appreciate you. I give Matt a little credit because he actually got the O capitalized, but Peter and Matt both didn't write them correctly. So we should have had you write them correctly. I know everyone misses this. I won't hold it against you, but it's Oni ounce. So everyone forgets to put the period after the OZ because it's the abbreviation for ounce. But that's just a fun little thing. I'm not going to hold it against you. Peter, you're taking it home.
I'm not gonna lie. In my head, I was pronouncing it Anyos.
Adios. As one word?
Yeah, I was listening to it the other day. I was like, this Anyos is dropping some hot tracks here.
Odie. Should I tell you guys real quick where that name came from?
Yes.
So Journo is a combination of both of my son's names. We got bots. We got the sexy bots in the house, guys. We're official. We
made it now.
100th episode celebration, guys. We brought them to you. Go get your credit cards ready. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to block them.
Can you block the bots?
Yeah, that's some garbage.
What a way to wrap it up. While you're blocking the bots, I'm going to talk about Oni OZ, guys. So I came up with the name Oni OZ. Me and my good friend from way back then that I grew up with, that I came up with on the block. We were kicking it, smoking fat ones, drinking OE 40s, just doing what little 14-year-old kids do. Hopefully not all 14-year-old kids, but that's what we were doing. And we were kicking it. And at that point in time, we didn't live in the world that we live in today where like weed is basically illegal. I mean, you got the weed spots on every corner now, man. And at that point in time, an ounce of weed in your possession with the intent to sell was a felony. A felony charge, at least in the state of California.
Crazy. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Yep. So we were sitting there high, drunk, who knows what we were doing. And my dude, my right-hand man, Jay, he was like, man, we be smoking. Did you know? He was like, you know that every ounce of weed in your possession is a felony? And I was like, wow, man, damn. Yeah, we be smoking felonies, man. Smoking felonies. That's the name of the album. We're dropping it. Smoking felonies. We're like, felonies, man. Yeah, felony, only felony. We broke apart felony and he took fell and put J fella, and I took Oni. And because of the felony being an ounce, and because I probably at the same time had a 40 ounce of OE in my hand, I just threw the ounce at the end of the Oni and called it Oni ounce. And the name of my first album, my first solo album, 40 ounces of Oni.
Oh,
there we go.
That's the story. But I'll tell you guys, Oni ounce means so much more than that. I know that's silly, dumb, young and dumb stuff, but Oni is actually Japanese for warrior, even though it's spelled N-O-N-I. And there is this correlation in this universal language of Oni being connected to one and oneness and a oneism, so to say. So Oni is taking on a much, much deeper meaning to me, but good question, Jeff. I'm happy to have shared that part of my story on the show tonight.
That's awesome. Every time, I've been in probably 20 bands in my life, and every time we're just sitting there all right, what's the best name?
Painful.
Remorseless Slaughter. Oh yeah, that sounds sick. Let's be called that. That was my high school thrash metal band.
Nice.
It's so painful though, going through that process of coming up with a name, and the fact that you did that fucking wasted. And it meant more than you realized at the time.
Yep.
That's well done. All right. You know what else is well done? You all are well done getting us to this 100 episode. We can't thank you guys enough. I don't think words really express how we feel, because it just doesn't seem like the words that we say express how grateful we truly are, and how much we appreciate doing this with you guys each and every week. Joe, you are an amazing member of the community yourself, putting out amazing content, just a positive influence out there. And you all should be following him on the IG as well as the YouTubes, and his link is as easy as down below. So thank you for jumping into this seat here, especially for Fresh from the Comic Shop, but also at the very beginning. I don't know what more to say, guys. Thank you. And, you know, Chris and I will continue to do this as long as you guys continue to watch.
Yep.
That's that easy. It's that simple. So I don't know. Joe, you got any final words? Don't make it sentimental or anything like that. Just be fun.
You guys are awesome. Keep doing the show. You know, I don't make it on every night. You know, every Sunday when you guys do it, I'm not always available. But even when I'm not, I scroll back, you know, during the week, check out the Fresh from the Comic Book Shop, check out your takes on any of the hot books that I'm interested in. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Everyone keep watching them, keep submitting, all that stuff.
I want you. Don't be sentimental, Chris.
Ha ha, man. Ha. How can I?
No, Chris, I forgot to say I appreciate you too. I appreciate doing this with you, man. I had no idea what we would be doing here 100 episodes ago, but I'm just glad that it's with you.
Oh man, it is interesting too, and I will revisit. You know, we've revisited a few times before, and I'll just do it quickly again about how, you know, very hesitant I was to even commit to something, and I'm glad I did. You know, I know that I'm my own entity with journos, and I was already, the plan and goal for that was already set in motion. But, you know, in so much ways, this part of who I am has allowed journos to be what it is. And, you know, it's a very much a symbiotic relationship between the two channels. And I think that my success over there pairs with what we've done over here as well. And I know that, you know, we've been doing this for 2 years, 100 episodes, and we're going to keep pushing to keep growing this thing. We're going to keep pushing to, you know, evolve this thing in every way possible, you know, whether that means just the quality of the show, in both in technical quality and in just the quality of the substance that we bring. We want to keep bringing on awesome guests and other members of the community, new guests that we haven't had, returning guests that we've had before, and keep community building. I hope that, we could get 5,000, 10,000 subscribers on this channel one day. Sometimes it's tough with our subscribers here. It's a slow roll, a slow push sometimes. Took us a while to hit that 1K, but I will say this: no matter of the amount of subscribers that we have, it doesn't change the fact that you guys here every night are what make this what it is. And that won't change. You know, like I said, part of growing is bringing more people into the community and having more amazing people come together. But even if that never happened, it doesn't matter, because you guys already make it worth it. So that's what I got to say.
Can't be said any better than that. Joe, again, we thank you so much for being part of this episode. It made it even more special. And, we'll be back again for 101 next week, episode 101. I do believe we have a great guest as well. But until then, y'all be good to yourselves and be good to others. We will see y'all soon. Peace.